Hey everybody, welcome back to React TCG. We've got another pack of death battle videos for you. Um, Starting us off, we've got Cole MacGrath versus Alex Mercer. Um, that's the protagonist of Infamous and the protagonist of Prototype. I don't think I've actually played either of these games before. Um, I've definitely heard about Prototype and Infamous. I know a bit about their story. Um, I've seen some gameplay, and I think it might have even there might have been like a demo that was included with one of my old PlayStation games, or like maybe it just popped up in the store at one point. But I'm pretty sure I remember playing like at least the tutorial of the game as like a demo. Um, and it wasn't bad. It kind of reminded me of the old school Incredible Hulk game, where you just kind of like go on a rampage and smash everything in sight. Like it seemed like that. Like I remember I was like breaking tanks and like consuming people and stuff. It was crazy. Um, that being said, who would I pick to win a death battle? From what I know, Infamous's protagonist is like an electric user, right? He uses electricity. Um, Whereas the protagonist from Prototype either is or has some sort of like he's almost like Venom. Like he can grow tendrils, he can make weapons, he consumes people, all kinds of crazy shit. So I think I'm gonna give my vote to Alex Mercer, but we'll see. So let's get into this. Looks like HelloFresh is their sponsor. I'm gonna skip past that part.
Cole MacGrath, the patron saint of Infamous.
Alex Mercer, the Blacklight Virus prototype from Prototype. That's right, champions. You voted for it, so we're finally doing it. Long
Oh,
after
nice.
these
This is one
characters
that
were
they were
ever
voted for.
relevant. Oh, hey, look what I found in the trash. An old script we wrote for this very matchup way back in 2013.
Wait, we haven't emptied our trash in 10 years?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Wonder if there's gonna be a bunch of 2013
With
references
great
now.
power comes great responsibility. Tobey Maguire's not the only superhero who's had to learn that lesson.
Yeah.
Cole MacGrath was just your average delivery boy in Empire City until one day he opened a package that exploded in his face.
This was the
Oh, shit.
Ray Sphere, a device that, upon erupting, destroyed much of the city and tore through Cole at the atomic level.
Killing him instantly.
Uh, Cole's story changes based on the player's choices. For this matchup, we are going to focus on the canonical good Cole, while alternatively exploring the possible effects of evil Cole. Okay.
Nah, actually, he scooped up some superpowers. Cool, zippity zappity superpowers.
I was right,
More
electricity.
specifically, Cole became a conduit, one of many beings who were granted supernatural abilities from the Ray Sphere explosion.
Which also turned Empire City.
Full name, Cole MacGrath, age 27, 6 feet or 182 centimeters. Also known as Electric Man, savior of Empire City, patron saint of New Marias. Prime Conduit, knows how to hardcore parkour. Yeah, that's definitely a 2013 reference right there. Um, Quit college just to piss off his parents. Seems about right. Has read Bram Stoker's Dracula like all of the cool kids. I don't think I've ever read Dracula. I've definitely seen like 10,000 Dracula movies and played a million games. I don't know if I've ever read the original. I feel like that's something more American students do, where they're like forced to read certain books. We weren't forced to read certain books. We were always told like Just go pick a book from our library, like the school library, and read that, and then like do a report on it.
To a godforsaken hellscape, this world needed a hero, or at least an anti-hero willing to clean up the mess he sorta technically made.
Cole put his powers to
Yeah.
the test battling rogue superpowered conduits, including the mastermind behind the blast, Kessler.
Let's be real, none of Cole's powers are as sick nasty as his parkour skills, but his ability to manipulate electricity is pretty sweet too.
Cole controls electromagnetic energy. Not only can he generate a smorgasbord of powerful lightning attacks, he can
Sure,
also
Infamous
manipulate
movie,
thermal,
what?
kinetic, and gravitational energies.
The hell was that clip from? Electrokinesis, arc lightning, bio leech, blast, detonation, graviton, etc. Bolt, alpha, magnum, etc. Grenades, shock, sticky, etc. Gigawatt blades, gigawatt drain, induction grind, karmic overload, lightning tether, radar pulse, rockets, alpha redirect, etc. Static thrusters, and the thunder drop, whatever the frig that is.
Electromagnetism is pretty broad after all. This includes his radar pulse, which detects the bioelectricity inside organisms even if they're hidden or transformed.
And for
Oh, he also has cryokinesis, interesting. Freeze rocket, frost shield, ice grenade, and ice launch. And ionic abilities. Ionic freeze, ionic storm, and ionic vortex. I'm guessing those must be, like, these are the big finishers. If there's only 3 abilities.
good measure, he got to add some ice powers to his kit. He can throw ice grenades, shoot ice spikes, and let out some epic ice farts.
He can levitate like Electric Iron Man, grind on rails like Shadow the Hedgehog, read your mind like Goku's Muffin Button, charge up with extra karmic energy, also like Shadow the Hedgehog, and generate force fields like
Shadow the Hedgehog.
But these aren't just force fields. They literally convert any matter they touch into energy that Cole absorbs. That's insane.
How's that?
Are you familiar with a little equation called E equals mc squared?
No.
Oh, well, it
course
defines the
not.
mathematical relationship between matter and energy, essentially how much energy any given mass contains.
Okay, the largest mass object Cole absorbs is a 343-gram helicopter chain gun round.
Perfectly converting matter to energy is technically impossible, but hey, this is a video game. The mass contained in that bullet, when multiplied by the speed of light squared, would release an energy equivalent to over 7 megatons of TNT. This means Cole's energy output is basically fueled by a nuclear reactor.
Oh, so he's like a living super bomb, always ready to go off. Sounds like my first ex-wife.
Should he somehow run low on energy, he can drain it from nearby appliances to recharge. He's even learned to drain the bioelectricity from people, like this. Yikes.
Cole can
The
focus
shit?
his electricity through.
Amp, melee weapon, designed by Zeke Dunbar, channels Cole's powers. The Ray Field Inhibitor is a small portable device designed by Dr. Sebastian Wolf that amplifies Cole's power levels and inhibits ray field energy, which that's probably not going to help against Alex, because he's not a conduit.
His amp, a giant tuning fork which lets him ring around the Rosie to death. Or he can just make lightsabers out of his hands. That's cool too. And because he
Okay.
follows Pokemon rules, Cole's extra resistant to electric attacks.
With these powers, Cole chewed
Fair
through
enough.
Kessler's forces, including Sasha, whose black tar powers could infect and control minds.
And he eventually faced down that son of a bitch himself and pwned his ass, despite Kessler having his exact same powers. Coincidence?
I built
No,
a Wix
probably
website
not.
overnight.
It's never a
and that helped launch
coincidence
my
with this
career
shit,
as a
man.
sketch artist. There's
Turns out the architect of Cole's misery was himself from an alternate future timeline.
Seems about
manipulating
right.
events from the shadows to ensure this version of Cole became a better hero than Kessler ever was.
Yeah, you see, Cole's superpowers are molded through his actions, increasing in power and utility based on how good or evil he acts. Naturally, as
Okay.
a good person, Cole shaped his powers to be more focused to target the bad guys. That's pussy shit! Evil Cole is way more awesome sus! He blows everything up! Collateral damage? Who cares? He can control fire!
Was that Nega
Well,
Boomstick?
that just happened. Who wrote this shit?
The point is, Kessler's whole plan was meant to prevent the apocalypse, which would appear in the form of the Beast, a conduit of unimaginable power.
Cole is strong enough to create massive thunderstorms, fast enough to route electricity moving it.
For context, electricity moves at approximately 90% the speed of light. Alright.
90% the speed of light, and maybe thanks to Kessler, tough enough to take on the beast.
Which possessed the power of the ray sphere?
Survived the Ray Spear Blast, resisted Sasha's mental control, saved New Maurice from destruction, ice attacks reached sub-zero temperatures, split an aircraft carrier in half with a single lightning strike, survived David Warner absorbing his neuroelectricity, and has defeated Sasha, Alden, Kessler, Bertrand, QO, and the Beast.
Sphere itself. It could regenerate at an atomic level and eradicate all of Empire City in a single attack.
Oh, and it was
Tough
what?
to take on the beast.
Which possessed the power of the ray sphere itself.
Okay.
It could regenerate at an atomic level and eradicate all of Empire City in a single attack. Fortunately, after a grueling battle, Cole defeated the Beast once and for all.
Though ultimately, it wasn't Cole's power that made him a hero.
In order to stop a plague created by the ray sphere, Cole sacrificed his life, eradicating the conduit genes and saving all of humanity.
Sure, he also killed thousands of conduits in the process, but hey, what's a few corpses when building a better tomorrow? This trolley stops for no one.
Cole was remembered as a saint by the people of New Marais, as a hero by the friends he left behind, and an inspiration to future generations. A true testament to the responsibility of power.
Poor guy.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Hello.
I mean, I like those stories, but I also kind of hate them, you know? Where you work through the whole story, you get to the end, and then you find out that's it for you. That you have reached the end of the story, and now it's time to die.
With great power comes great responsibility, but not everybody's got an Uncle Ben to tell him that.
Alex Mercer woke up in hell. Manhattan Island was gripped by the horrific black light virus, transforming its citizens into terrifying monsters.
Alex had no memories.
Full name Alexander J. Mercer, age 30, height 5'10" or 178 centimeters, 190 pounds or 86 kilograms. Code name is Zeus. Weird since he doesn't have electricity powers. The Alpha Viralis Metamorph. Official traits: distant, predatory, super intelligent, terrifying, and vengeful. Admits that he is a killer, a monster, and a terrorist because he's just so edgy. Yeah, it seems like a 2013 thing.
Was a man without a past and maybe no future, but he did have one thing.
The black light virus can rewrite your cells all the way down to your DNA, and somehow it granted Alex incredible superhuman abilities. He can infect anyone he touches with this virus, altering their biology at the molecular level in seconds and giving him complete control over their actions.
So Alex pushed on, desperate to avenge himself and the city by finding whatever monster unleashed this nightmare.
It was him, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
he can consume people to give himself a power boost. He's like Kirby, if Kirby listened to Linkin Park.
God damn it.
This extra biomass gives him superhuman strength, a greater metabolic rate, increased reaction times, and even a regenerative healing factor. Essentially, Alex is an ever-evolving super being, the ultimate being.
Oh, like Shadow the Hedgehog.
By consuming victims, Alex also receives all their memories and experiences, including Peter Randall, a 69-year-old man whose entire history Alex processed in just 11 seconds. Being able to condense that much information into that time frame means Alex can perceive events happening within 5 nanoseconds.
Which is about how long I was married to my second ex-wife.
Alex can shapeshift his body at will.
Infections transforms victims into infected. Consume condenses and alters the matter of victim. Absorbs all memories and abilities of the victim. Reactive evolution, resistances to radiation, fire, electricity, etc. Biomass shapeshifting, claws, hammer fist, muscle mass, whip fist, blade, tendrils, shield, and armor.
creating disguises, increasing his muscle mass, and forming nearly unbreakable armor. And when he wants to kill someone, he can become his own weapon, turning his limbs into claws and blades, or generating countless tendrils that give him unmatched control over his environment.
With these goopy powers, he can't.
Air dash, a general adrenaline surge, disguise, glide, regeneration, hive mind, sensory powers, thermal vision, infected vision, and hunting. Critical mass, tendril barrage, devastator, ground spike, graveyard devastator, critical pain devastator. I'm guessing those are like ultimate moves. And he has an evolved form, which greatly increases his power and size.
Came up with a bunch of Street Fighter moves, like the air dash, the cannonball, the bullet dive drop, and the hunter dirt nap. Pretty sure that was my third ex-wife's boyfriend's stripper name. Bunch of
Unmatched control.
No, I guess I just didn't list those ones. Weird.
The bullet dive drop, and the hunter dirt nap. Pretty sure that was my third ex-wife's boyfriend's stripper name.
And after consuming enough people, Alex reaches critical mass.
From a gameplay perspective, Alex's health can be viewed as a representation of his biomass reserves. It increases when he consumes and decreases when he performs devastator attacks.
And can unleash his evil slop in powerful ultimate attacks.
Like the Tendril Barrage Devastator. Oh, it's beautiful.
Despite being seen as the world's most wanted terrorist, fair, Alex used his powers to stop the spread of the virus and end the city's nuclear devastation.
It was then he learned the truth. He wasn't Alex Mercer at all.
He was the Blacklight virus itself, which absorbed the memories and likeness of the real Alex Mercer, who was not only dead, but actually responsible for all of this in the first place. To decipher this, I recreated the Blacklight virus myself.
Why? And why is it empty?
Why is it empty?
He's right behind me, isn't he?
So the man Alex was hunting the whole time was himself. Dun dun dun!
That's right, Boomstick. Turns out Dr. Alex Mercer helped create the Blacklight virus.
Sorry, hold on.
That's right, Boomstick. Turns out Dr. Alex Mercer helped create the
Alrighty. Apparently he was the head of Gen Tech research on Project Blacklight. Alex Mercer was the identity of the prototype before his transformation. The prototype understands the basics of this past. That his name was Alex Mercer, that he was a scientist, but it recalls nothing more. Before his infection, Alex Mercer, PhD, was the head of a biotech project at Gentech, codenamed Blacklight. Everyone working at Gentech knew that this work was classified. It involved cataloging government biological samples recovered from a far-flung war zone, looking for weaponized viruses. Alex worked in special projects on the other end of the spectrum, Project Blacklight, engineering weaponized viruses from odd samples received from the government. These samples did amazing things, such as mimic and store genetic information from infected organisms, and even more. With Alex's help, they were soon infecting and duplicating copies of their host's genetic structure. Alex's insight and ability to manipulate these viruses made him a unique asset. His work was years ahead of his nearest competitor. Alex was impatient. He was an impatient, dark, tortured person subjected to a brutal childhood, spent in abject poverty. Not sure why that was relevant. He spent his first 9 years in foster care and was returned to his mother after release from prison where he was 10. Okay. For Alex, foster care was better. His propensity for science was his way out, and when he left everything behind. The past was dead, and the future was his payback. What he deserved for all the time spent suffering. He trusted no one, he had no friends, he cared less and less what others thought of him, and focused solely on his work. By the time he came to Gentech, Alex was teetering on the board of sociopathy. Jeez. He knew this and did not care. His past made Alex morally ambiguous enough to get the job done. When work called for ethically questionable behavior, he never hesitated. He got the job done, but often managed to burn bridges along the way. Recently, questions began to be asked in closed sessions on Capitol Hill. Black Watch decided to cover everything up. Alex, forever paranoid, drew his sister into the mix, using her journalistic skills to track what his bosses were up to. After weeks of investigation, it was clear to Alex that some sort of purge was going to be coming. Alex took out insurance, smuggled a vial. Oh, took out insurance. Okay, I thought he meant he went and bought life insurance. Okay. No, he took out insurance, smuggling a vial of the Blacklight virus, and mailing a laptop with classified documents to his sister. But Blackwatch was too quick for him. While attempting to escape the city, Alex was caught in Penn Station. After Alex purposely decided to release the virus, he was shot, collapsing upon the viral sample, becoming infected as he died.
Blacklight virus, and when things didn't work out and he was about to die, he recklessly unleashed it upon the city.
What a petty SOB! What he didn't know was that the virus would merge with his sentience and memories and become a new Alex. How? Why? Don't question it, it's a nothing burger.
But is
Fair
this
enough.
massive viral material that calls itself Alex actually human in any meaningful way?
The poor bastard sure tried to be. Too bad humans can be dicks, and everyone kept betraying him. Even the so-called love of his life, who shot him in the face. Whoa!
Bro,
so Alex
what?
figured, obviously, humanity had to go.
Not just go, but be made better. Whatever goodness
Oh.
remaining with this Alex was left
So
behind
he went
as
full
he
villain
plotted
mode.
to unleash a second Blacklight virus, recreating humanity into a super species in his own image. Great
Oh,
power
damn.
became great terror.
Classic anime RPG villain stuff. And he was
Fair
strong
enough.
enough to do it. Alex can casually tear buildings apart, dodge supersonic tank shells, and even defeated the Supreme Hunter, who was tough enough to survive a nuclear blast that would have leveled Manhattan.
Based on the Black
Estimates made by non-Blackwatch characters claim that the blast yield equaled about sorry about that. I don't know what the fuck. Oh, my lungs constricted or something. That was weird. Estimates made by non-Blackwatch characters claim the blast yield equaled around 75 kilotons of TNT. Blackwatch's own map of its blast radius takes precedence, however.
blast radius given in-game, that's 450 kilotons of TNT.
Speaking of nukes, Alex survived one. His healing factor is off the chain. And after being blasted into paste, all he needed was the tiniest bit of himself to come back good as new.
His healing occurs at the cell.
Saved Manhattan and then terrorized it. Casually tossed tanks and helicopters. Regenerated after taking a nuclear blast. Processed and absorbed memories at 66% the speed of light. Holy, slower than Cole. Possesses the skills of thousands of consumed soldiers. That could give him the edge. Defeated Robert Cross, Elizabeth Green, Peter Randall, and the Supreme Hunter. I'm still kind of leaning towards Alex, but I think it's going to be a close fight.
Making him virtually impossible to kill so long as he keeps consuming.
But attempting to take over the world and kill millions of people pissed off a certain James
Actually, that might be the problem there. He has to keep consuming. So if he runs out of mass, Cole will win.
Heller, a dude who had just had enough of his fucking weird, fucking rambling shit.
Who used the same virus powers to consume Alex once and for all.
Live by
Oh,
the
damn.
Kirby symbiote, die by the Kirby symbiote. But was Alex just a virus after all? I mean, what's more human than the urge to conquer the world, drive its species to the slaughter, consume its raw genetic resources, and crown yourself king? Maybe the day Alex Mercer died was the day he truly became human.
Wow, that was intense.
Fuck
Yeah.
it was.
Marvel Rivals?
This episode is sponsored by
Raise
any of Dig's people. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
Hell yeah. These guys are about to die. Called it. Oh, like a snack.
I think I've still got room for dessert. Buddy, you are one sick freak.
Yeah, you've probably heard that one before. Bro, that fucking cannonball looks so ridiculous. Pretty good. I think Coles might end up winning this though. I might just end up switching my vote mid-fight. Oh. Careful.
What a nightmare. You don't know the half of it.
Oh, that must be his evolved form.
So much power, and yet you waste it on these vermin. You and I can change this world for the better. The only vermin I see here is you.
Oh yeah, looks like Cole's gonna finish this. Oh, that's his evolved form. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh, maybe not.
You don't want to give me your power.
Oh,
Fine, I'll just take it.
you want it?
Good idea.
Take it all.
This world sure isn't perfect, but it's a lot better without you in it, asshole. What if you could see what readers think of your story at the click of a button? Meet
I don't care.
Oh, now I know where that script was in the trash. I had to hear someone say awesome sauce.
Both opponents were incredibly versatile and deadly, and both could match each other's powers blow for blow.
They could each create weapons, amplify their strength, and fight at range.
But could Cole survive Alex's infection? Well, Alex would usually need to weaken an opponent to get that trick to work. Even then, the Ray Sphere incident that created
While the race sphere creates conduits, Kessler was unsure if Cole would survive its explosion, as stated in the mission The Truth. The beast was torn apart by a ray sphere, so Cole's survival accounts for his own ability.
created Cole's powers in the first place ripped apart everyone else down to the atomic level, and the Beast's attacks were capable of the same thing. Considering the Blacklight virus only works down to molecular DNA, it's reasonable to say Cole would be able to resist it.
Sure, Alex could have potentially consumed
Cole's bio-leech drains neuroelectricity from living things, which is partly responsible for healing the human body from wounds. It is likely it could negate Alex's regeneration.
Cole's biomass to give himself an edge, but Cole could just do the same thing to Alex, absorbing his bioelectricity to power himself back up.
But nothing could challenge the gap in power.
Alright, so Cole was more powerful, had more ranged options, could resist the black light virus, and his radar sense countered Alex's disguises, but he was vulnerable to being corrupted. Alex Mercer was smarter and more experienced, and harder to kill due to his insane regeneration, but he was notably slower, which is what I said.
Everything Alex survived could simply not match Cole's force fields, and especially not the power of the Beast. The blast the Beast created actually had a much wider radius than the one the Supreme Hunter could survive. To compete with these foes, this means Cole was simply far more powerful than Alex.
Speaking of the Beast, Cole's ability to disintegrate it at the atomic level meant that even Alex's crazy molecular regeneration couldn't stand up to Cole's might.
Just like how Cole could overpower Kessler.
Sasha's organic tar controls minds and physically alters its victims. This is curiously similar to the Blacklight virus. Cole was not only able to resist the tar, but healed people that were affected by it.
Despite his resistance to electricity, or how he resisted Sasha's mind control powers, which were eerily similar to the Blacklight virus.
But I bet you're wondering, what if Alex fought evil Cole instead? Well, it'd be even worse, because that Cole took the Beast's power for himself.
Oh,
That's
shit.
Good night for Angry Virus Boy.
Alex was a versatile, deadly opponent, but Cole's counters, speed, and raw power gave him the edge.
I'm trying to
Alex
rip the
got
script.
the Cole shoulder, just like this stupid script.
The winner is Cole MacGrath. Thanks for watching, and hey, are you a Death Battle member?
Alright. Next fight is gonna be Frieza versus Megatron. Yeah, I'm going with Frieza. I mean, even if they don't use Black Frieza, because we don't really have, like, a ton of information on him. I've seen him punch, like, one time. Like, he one-shotted the villain or whatever, and then, like, one-shotted Goku Vegeta, and, like, that was it. Just kind of, poof, disappeared after that. So, yeah. Frieza, I think, is probably going to end up winning this. But the fact that they're putting Megatron against Frieza means that he's probably got some crazy-ass abilities I don't know about, because I just thought he was like a regular-ass Transformer. But I don't think a regular Transformer could hang with someone from Dragon Ball. But, we'll see. See what they say.
Frieza, the Dread Emperor from Dragon Ball.
And Megatron, the Decepticon commander from Transformers.
When these two dictators collide, the cosmos will tremble.
He's Wiz, I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Deep in the bowels of outer space lies a monster so cruel, so callous, so evil, that the universe itself trembles at his approach. Behold, the mighty Lord Frieza.
Oh, he's adorable with the horns and that floppy tail and the...
Yeah.
Genocide? Oh, awesome. And he's laughing. Cool.
Yeah.
Frieza's
He
diminutive
does that.
stature and faux gentility were intentionally deceptive and rooted in a surprising place. In response to the Japanese economic bubble at the time, Frieza's design was meant to evoke...
Evoke what? Fucking goddamn ads ruining, like, the best fucking parts. Like, they always right in the middle of a sentence.
You shop for notes to get seafood for you.
I don't care
real
about
estate
that shit.
economic bubble at the time, Frieza's design was meant to evoke real estate speculators. Series mangaka Akira Toriyama has described
that actually
speculators
checks-
as
that actually
the
checks out.
worst sort of people. Yes, really.
I guess you could
That
say
actually kinda
Frieza
checks
is
out.
more than meets the eye. Oh, wait, shit, that's later.
Much is unknown about Frieza.
Full name, Lord Frieza, aka Frieza, Freezer, and Refrigerator. Oh, you don't know who called him that one, but alright. Over 70 years old, is 5'2" or 158 centimeters. Dude is short. Is the Universal Emperor, a mutant version of the Frost Demon. Likes grape soda, Frieza Day, and he likes Yamcha. What? Hates Saiyans, stuffed animals, and cooler.
His alien race and heritage, only that he and his father were born as mutants with abnormally high power levels.
Oh, like how the doc said my blood alcohol level was 0.8 straight out the womb. Frieza was
What?
so crazy strong that unlike most Dragon Ball characters who transform to get stronger, Frieza transforms to get weaker. So he doesn't like accidentally nuke a planet, only intentionally.
With his father's empire and army at his
Yeah, that's something everyone always gets wrong. Everyone always looks at Frieza with the horns and everything as his first form, but technically it's the opposite way. Minus the robotic parts. This is his first form. This is how he looked when he was born. But he was so strong and so powerful that he had to invent other forms to hold back his power. So his third form is technically his first form that he came up with. The second form he based off his father and probably was around his father's strength. And then he went even further and made one that looked more like his original form, just a bit different, which was what we know as his first form, which is actually his final form. But yeah, he never transformed to get stronger. He was basically regressing through his transformations. He wasn't transforming and powering up. He was going down a level from his transformations and powering up because his transformations actually made him weaker.
beck and call, Frieza would cross the universe, conquering worlds one by one and selling them to the highest bidder, just like real estate speculators.
And if anyone objected, he'd just kill them, their entire family, and everyone they ever knew. Just like real estate speculators. While he usually lets
what?
his weird, multicolored alien grunts do his dirty work for him, Frieza's not afraid to throw down himself, especially if some spiky-haired space monkeys start getting too uppity for their own good.
Frieza's strength comes from his innate understanding and manipulation of his own ki, or life energy, which he can use to enhance his physicality or manifest into projectile attacks.
Like his
Yep.
classic Death Beam, Death Bowl, Death Wave, Death Cannon, Death Saucers. Yeah,
He's got a thing for death.
Frieza can move mountains with his mind.
Key Blast, Death Cannon, Death Wave, Nova Strike, Flight, Death Saucer, Eye Laser, and Telekinesis. Death Beam, Death Bullet, Grand Death Beam, Cage of Light, Transformations, lesser forms, which I just went over. His final form, which is technically his actual first form. And then there's Golden Frieza. Oh, and they are using Black Frieza.
Fire laser beams from his eyes, create ki force fields, and he even learned to sense the ki of others through sheer observation alone. He's fast enough
Damn.
to keep up with Goku's ki attacks, which, scaled to the ki he absorbed for a spirit bomb against Kid Buu, could move across the universe in less than a minute. That would be over 17 quadrillion times the speed of light, and he's gotten even stronger and faster since then.
You know you're a badass when you can stroll into Planet Vegeta, a planet filled with people whose only higher aspirations involve murder and hair gel, and talk shit like you own the place. And he got
Yeah.
so paranoid about one of them getting strong enough to kick his ass that he blew up the friggin' planet.
Considering Planet Vegeta has 10 times the gravity of Earth, this would mean it likely has 10 times the mass and 100 times the energy required to overcome its gravitational binding energy
Damn.
and destroy it. That's over 5.3 yotatons of TNT.
And
that
that's
was
in his,
weakest form.
yeah.
Too bad he kinda missed a spot. Or several, because a bunch of Saiyans survived to fight another day. Space genocide just ain't what it used to be.
This would come back to bite him when he was finally forced to confront the Earthbound Saiyan Kakarot.
Goku.
And accidentally ended up being the reason he turned into the legendary Super Saiyan.
Like
Well,
the
he
albino
killed his
dildo
best
he
friend.
is.
Kept pace with Despo, resisted the power of destruction, withstood Broly's assault for an hour. Damn. Survived the destruction of planet Namek, telekinetically lifted over 1 million tons of stone, has defeated Ultra Instinct Goku, Ultra Ego Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Frost, and Gas.
Frieza has survived being pounded by Broly for over an hour straight, crushed by Goku's Spirit Bomb, and then split in half, consumed by an exploding planet, and left afloat in the vacuum of space.
He can survive without the vast majority of his body, though unlike other Dragon Ball villains, he can't heal on his own.
Yeah, no.
Want to break into
No
cybersecurity
regeneration.
but don't have experience? The Google Cybersecurity Certificate uses
It didn't help him that much after he got his ass sent to hell, but because of that dragon in his balls, he was back at it again.
And with just 4
Yep.
months worth of training, the first time
He
he ever
unlocked a
trained in his
new
entire
form.
life, Frieza was able to achieve a new transformation capable of
Yeah, think about that. He trained for the first time in his life, and in 4 months, like he went literally from 0 to a new form in 4 months. That's insane.
surpassing the Super Saiyan, Golden Frieza.
That's a level of laziness I aspire to, Wiz. DeviantArt Frieza here lets him keep up with Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta.
A significantly weaker Super Saiyan God Goku could blow up the whole of Universe 7 in a punch clash with the God of Destruction, Beerus. And the shockwaves of their punches were able to reach the edges of existence in only a few seconds. Over 270 quadrillion times the speed of light. And that is before so many years of power-ups and training between then and now.
Totally crazy, but nothing compared to his newest and greatest form.
A transformation capable of surpassing Goku's Ultra Instinct and Vegeta's Ultra Ego, their peaks at this point. A transformation even stronger than Gas, who was wished to be the strongest in the universe.
He
Yeah.
literally said F you to the Dragon Balls. This is Black Frieza.
The all-seeing Oracle Fish had prophesied the coming of the universe's strongest, and perhaps he was talking about Frieza all along.
Come on, give us another prediction. Oh, Wiz, I think you're gonna die. No, for
No,
some
you killed the fish,
godforsaken
you
reason,
dumbass. The identity of the processized strongest warrior is technically still unknown, and might never be discovered since Akira Toriyama died, God rest his soul. Popular theories include Gohan and Oob. Gas and Granola achieved such power thanks to wishes, whereas Frieza achieved it completely on his own using a hyperbolic time chamber, which, because it was in a separate dimension, that's why Gas wasn't stronger than him.
He didn't use his newfound power to kill those pesky Saiyans. They were right there, you moron.
In fact, he once committed the archvillain's greatest sin and teamed up with them to save their universe and beat Jiren, a being comparable to the gods of destruction.
Because no one's allowed to destroy the universe but him.
And
Fair
that's
enough.
a promise he means to keep. This almighty emperor will continue to rule the universe with an iron grip and a heart of ice.
Damn.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by
And be cool.
Equal easy to
Got 50 enemy
speaks and 30.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Or you
Yep.
live even longer and become an 80s toy commercial. This is Megatron.
In Cybertron's ancient past, the planet was ruled by the Functionist religious order, which decreed a Transformers
Full name: Megatron of Tarn. Height: 38 feet or 11.5 meters. Damn, he's gonna tower over Frieza. Over 9 million years old. Is a Cybertronian, leader of the Decepticons. Desperately needs a fucking cough drop. Likes Cybertron, poetry, Optimus Prime, and hates Autobots, capitalism, and Optimus Prime. Yeah, it's a weird relationship.
natural-born alternate mode determined their role and status in society rather than letting them choose for themselves. Born into this repressive caste system, Megatron of Tarn dreamed of something more.
So this giant Hasbro toy robot, only $5.99 at your nearest Rite Aid, wrote a manifesto on peaceful dissent that got popular with the oppressed Cybertronian working class. So much so, in fact, that the Senate tried to have him assassinated. Whoa, politics alert!
After surviving that brush with death, Megatron was convinced that peace could never be an option. The only path left to overthrow the crippling social order was violent revolution.
So were the Autobots originally the bad guys here?
Kind
Optimus
of.
Prime? More like Optimus Crime? Never say that Megatron wasn't committed.
They were the Autobots were less the bad guys and more like the Civil War. You know, when America fought England, right? That's what it was. It was America fighting the British. Wasn't it the Americans really the bad guys? They were just the rebels who didn't want to live under British rule anymore. Basically the same thing. The Autobots weren't the bad guys. They just were tired of being forced into, you know, whatever job the fucking government and shit said.
The Civil War he started between the two groups lasted 9 million fucking years. And
Damn.
again, remember, toy robots.
He was
Yeah.
aided in his war efforts by his immensely powerful fusion cannon, a giant laser bazooka that can hit targets from 12 miles away and level a small town in a single shot. These
Yeah.
projectiles are so fast, they're able
Antimatter. See, that's something that I feel like that's gonna be important. I've never heard of antimatter being associated with Transformers. Buzzsaws, fusion cannon, energon mace, energon shield, energon sword, electricity manipulation, flight, panic bubble, and sonic blast. Yes, I knew about all this other stuff. Oh, what the fuck is antimatter?
to exit the atmosphere from ground level after only a single second. By scaling the distance of the Earth using the angle of this shot, the fusion cannon's projectile must be moving over 4,200 times the speed of sound.
But, like me, the fusion cannon needs a little time to recharge between shots. So Megatron's got some tools to keep the job going. He can close the distance with his energon mace and block blows with his energon shield. It helps that Meg's literally fought as a gladiator before his stunt as a revolutionary.
Megatron can fire lasers from his eyes and arms, launch buzzsaws strong enough to slice through solid rock, fly through the air, and open up a force field known as a panic bubble.
Now, it might seem like a huge flaw that it lets enemy combatants inside, but that's only until you realize it won't let them back out again. That's when the panic part comes in. Megatron's not trapped in there with you. You're trapped in there with him.
I was Jenny
Megatron's
Pull the
Cybertron
Rorschach.
body is strong enough to match the Autobot leader Optimus Prime, who can toss around oil tankers weighing hundreds of thousands of tons. And Megatron's metallic hide was tough enough to survive an explosion so massive, it launched the entire planet of Cybertron through space.
By taking a look at Cybertron's mass and how fast it was sent flying to get its overall kinetic energy, Megatron must have survived a blast equal to nearly 4.5 ninatons of TNT, enough to annihilate a small star. He can even keep up with
Let's say Achilles
Decepticons like
in front of it.
Starscream, who can fly across the galaxy from Earth to Cybertron at hundreds of thousands of times the speed of light.
And he wouldn't be a Transformer without being
He can transform into a gun based on the Walther P-38, a Cybertronian tank, and a stealth bomber jet.
able to transform into various vehicles.
That
A
could also
tank,
turn into
stealth
a
bomber jet,
T-Rex,
And
but
a
maybe that was a
gun.
different one.
Just a gun. Walter B-38, in fact. I'm sorry, Wiz. I know he's this tragic revolutionary corrupted by the cycle of violence or whatever, but that is the funniest shit I have ever seen. What does he
Yeah.
have, like his Deceptive buddies point him at
Achoo.
people and fire?
Sometimes. He can fire himself too.
Oh my god. That looks even sillier.
You may be
It
laughing,
does.
but Megatron is no joke. By utilizing space bridge teleportation technology, Megatron can establish a remote link-up to a nearby black hole and teleport the antimatter it produces to his location.
Through his eyeballs.
Should
The fuck is-
matter
so
and
what is
antimatter
antimatter?
meet, they will be mutually annihilated in a brilliant
Oh.
release of energy defined by E = mc squared. It doesn't
So it
matter
works
how
exactly as
durable the matter
normal.
is, it will be destroyed at the subatomic level.
You see, that's
As
bad.
Megatron's
That's
war
bad for
control
Frieza.
of Cybertron dragged on. All of his high
He better not lose
ideals
this, I
started
swear to
fall
God.
to the wayside.
In essence, there used to be a point to the war. Now, war was the point. His only goal left was to rule Cybertron with a literal iron fist.
That's where Megatron's greatest weapon came into play.
Went from the hero to the villain.
The dude is a strategic and tactical genius who's always thinking 10 steps ahead.
He's fought powerful Transformers like Grimlock, Predaking, and the Decepticon, a being with the power of an entire evil universe behind it.
He and Optimus have even fought Nova Prime and Regenesis Shockwave, both of whom could utilize the energy of that same universe.
Megatron once sealed himself inside an Omniglobe and commanded 1,000 real-life battles at once, funneling every iota of relevant information into his brain at the same time. The sheer deluge of data would be incomprehensible for anyone without that supercomputer brain.
But all that robot ass-kicking ended up as a draw, and the only true loser was Cybertron.
With the planet in ruins and its civilization extinguished, the Cybertronian Golden Age was long over. And the vanguard of its destruction was Megatron,
who's now a crusty Saturday morning cartoon.
Commanded the Decepticons for millions of years, slaughtered hordes of Autobots single-handedly. His fusion cannon shots exit the atmosphere at Mach 4200. Antimatter was stated to be able to destroy half a planet. Fought the Decepticon and Regenesis Shockwave. And has defeated Optimus Prime, Predaking, and Grimlock.
Villain with a voice that sounds like he smokes 40 packs a day and a hate boner for his boneheaded second in command, Starscream.
After countless millennia of a humiliating stalemate with his Boy Scout rival, Megatron's brilliant mind finally turned inward. He remembered that his early writings advocated for peaceful conversion and free thought instead of domination.
It took you 9 million years to remember why you started fighting in the first place?
Bro.
Would you ever get lost in the cloud?
In what was possibly his most surprising tactical move yet, Megatron saved the universe from annihilation as an Autobot.
What?
Oh,
He realized
shit.
that after millions of years of indefinite war, the ideals that he fought for, freedom, justice, equality, had switched sides, and Megatron had to as well.
Turns out there was more to this supervillain than met the eye, because true to his nature,
Damn.
Megatron transformed.
That's crazy. Bro went out as an Autobot.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Better Maniacal, but these things can
Trauma, giving
commutes to start.
connecting better health. Alright, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Hell yeah, it is. I swear to God, though, if Frieza loses this.
Greetings, noble warrior of planet Cyber whatever. I, Lord Frieza, claim this world as my own. Cheer for me or face annihilation.
I have fought for my planet for eons. I would rather see it turn to ash than reside in your filthy hands, organic scum.
Oh, I love it when they monologue back.
Oh, I do remember this fight, I think. I think I've watched RDC react to this fight. They only watch the fight part, though. They don't watch the breakdown. That kind of makes it so fights don't really make sense. You don't know why stuff's
I'll have to
happening.
construct a new mothership from your corpse.
His ass, Frieza.
Is that clunky robot body too slow to keep up?
My wits and more than suffice, you blithering ponce.
Oh. Doesn't look like you're doing any damage, though. Not doing bad, Megatron. Keeping up pretty good, but I don't think you're hurting him. I don't see a single scratch on Frieza yet. He's gonna damage him. He's gonna have to use his antimatter. Interesting choice of song too. Oh, he's a tank. Fucking Gallic gun. Golden Frieza? Yeah. Still hasn't. I still don't see a scratch on it. Normally by this point in the fight, you'll see the marks on Frieza. Like if he was fighting Goku or Vegeta or somebody, you'd see marks on the punches. Scrapes and bruises, but I don't see anything on Frieza. Yeah, get his ass. Fuck your planet. Cybertron's about to get gooped. Bro is crazy. Dude, that is not gonna stop him. Oh shit. Yeah, Cybertron's fucked.
Well, doesn't this just always happen? I give it 5 minutes.
Oh, shut up. You're not strong enough, man. There we go, antimatter.
Behold the mighty Lord Frieza, ruler of a dying planet. My planet. Where is your army? Where is your ship? So powerful, and yet you will wander the depths of space for eternity. All because of me. What a fool.
You despicable cretinous worm!
I
I'll torture you until your
pissed
screams
them
can
off.
be heard in the vacuum of space!
Die a fool's death.
I don't think that got him though. He survived the Hakai, which destroys that atomic, level.
You will die by my hand!
Oh. Sorry, Megatron, but yeah, game over.
Cybertronians must kill them all.
Oh, now he's got a new race to genocide.
Wrong again,
Great.
Frieza. It was actually 1 minute and 10 seconds. Idiot.
Megatron's
Fucking
ruthless
dumbass.
resilience may have netted him a win in some scenarios, but Frieza's overwhelming power gave him a clear edge.
Megatron's ace in the hole was his antimatter, which would have annihilated Frieza.
Beerus claims destruction energy can destroy matter and release energy, which is incredibly similar to antimatter. Frieza has resisted being engulfed by destruction energy and so could theoretically resist antimatter, though this is speculative.
His ass no matter how tough it was.
And that was a real possibility. Megatron is a master tactician and manipulator with millions of years of combat experience. Frieza, on the other hand, has always relied on his raw power and intimidation to win fights.
He's not good
When
at
things
that whole
don't go
plan
his way,
thing.
he has a tendency to freak out.
However, Frieza has
Yeah.
survived getting most
More like
of his
throw a
body
tantrum.
obliterated and kept going.
Which meant the antimatter wasn't a surefire win. It would have to completely cover Frieza's whole body before he could react. And Frieza was way too fast for that.
While
Yeah.
Megatron scaled to characters who could cross galaxies, Frieza has kept up with Goku, who should
It is implied Shockwave may have grown to be a threat to numerous timelines. Even before he could achieve this, Megatron and Optimus together struggled to match him. This implies they were both weaker than Shockwave by a notable margin.
be at least trillions of times faster.
Add on his smaller size and key force fields, Frieza had more than enough ways to avoid, defend, or survive the antimatter.
So Megatron's only option was power. While Megatron has survived planet-busting...
Frieza was notably faster and much more powerful, and had plenty of defensive counters, but was vulnerable to Megatron's antimatter. Megatron, however, was more experienced and smarter, but he was physically inferior, and his larger size just made him a bigger target.
explosions, and even fought with a being that had the energy of a universe behind it, Golden Frieza was just too much for him, considering he certainly surpassed Goku and Beerus' Punch Clash. Since Universe 7 as a whole should be over 13 times larger than our own universe, Frieza's super forms would far exceed Megatron's own power.
And that feat happened at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super.
Ironically, a gold Megatron form does exist, though it is part of an entirely different canon from the American G1 and IDW continuities. He looks hype though. Not sure why they included that, but okay.
Goku has gotten leagues stronger since then, and Black Frieza is currently beyond him. There was just no way Megatron was strong enough to keep up.
Megatron was a devious foe, but Frieza's power, speed, and sheer survivability allowed him to crush the Decepticon leader underfoot.
I guess you could say Megatron was cool, but Frieza was cooler.
The winner is Frieza.
Don't compare him to his brother, he doesn't like it. Anyways, I kind of want to look that up. Hold on. Let's see. Gold Megatron. Those look pretty cool. Just wish it had some kind of information on them. Since it was part of a different like continuity and stuff. Oh well. Up next we have got Gojo versus Makima. Jujutsu Kaisen versus Chainsaw Man. We had a Chainsaw Man yet? I know there's been at least one. No, there's been at least two after this. But did they include a Chainsaw Man fight before this? I don't think they did. I was just wondering because I was gonna say I don't know anything about Chainsaw Man. I've never seen it, never watched it. Never read it, none of that. The most I know is that Makima here, I believe, is what is known as the control devil, and that basically means she like can control anyone and anything type shit. I know that there's a cute dog with like a chainsaw on its face, and I know that the main character who like swaps between his human form and like the Chainsaw Man form, is like obsessed with girls and boobs. That's my knowledge of Chainsaw Man. Jujutsu Kaisen, I've seen the first season, like the first like 24 episodes or whatever. I think the first season was 24 episodes. I've seen up till when Yuji and Todo like team up and fight that plant demon or curse or whatever for the first time, and they're like he's teleporting like back and forth and just punching the shit out of the guy. That shit was awesome. And then we get to see Gojo use like his purple move. Anyways, I think Gojo's gonna win because Makima's gonna have a hard time hitting him in the first place due to his like infinite void thing. For those of you, I mean, I'm sure no one has. I'm sure there's actually maybe there's people. I mean, I haven't seen Chainsaw Man, so who am I to talk? Maybe people haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen, but essentially Gojo has like a force field around him almost, where as things get closer and closer to him, they kind of slow down because as they get closer and closer, they have to essentially bridge infinity before reaching him. Like he's got a barrier of infinity around him. Death Battle will explain it better, but it's going to be hard to hit him, is my point. Meanwhile, he's got attacks that are just devastating, so I think he's got this fight. But Makima, from what I've heard, is supposed to be pretty OP, so we'll see how this goes.
Satoru Gojo, Jujutsu Kaisen Sorcerer Sensei.
Makima, Chainsaw Man's head of Tokyo Public Safety.
These two paranormal mentors are so strong that they change the very worlds they exist in.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Japan, December 7th, 1989. Satoru.
It's funny that they did these two together, like the two mentors or whatever, because a newer fight, I think the one that just came out a couple weeks ago, it was Yuji versus Denji, which is like the main character of Jujutsu Kaisen versus the main character of Chainsaw Man.
Gojo was born, and the world changed.
And in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, invisible, cursed spirits born from negativity threaten humanity.
So it's up to the Jujutsu sorcerers to do battle with them.
And what better way to learn the trade than to sign up for Tokyo Jujutsu High?
At this institution, a sorcerer will learn to harness their cursed energy, or the spiritual manifestation of intense emotion.
It's like Ki, but if Ki desperately needed therapy.
With it, sorcerers can boost their physicality and perform devastating curse techniques. Anything from voodoo dolls to swapping places with mere claps.
And lucky for humanity, Satoru Gojo's
29 years old, 6'3" or 190 centimeters, strongest modern special grade Jujutsu sorcerer, is a teacher at Tokyo Jujutsu High, likes Geto, his students, and Digimon, dislikes Kenjaku, alcohol, higher-ups, and why is Among Us there but crossed out?
the best sensei a sorcerer could ask for.
Gojo isn't just the best, he's known as the strongest. His very birth forced the strength of curses to exponentially rise. Like witnessing a world record get broken, cursed society shifted to match the might of Gojo's presence.
As a kid, Gojo knew he was the shit. He mastered the art of the Riz, the hoops, and the curse murdering, all alongside Suguru Geto, his sorcerer BFF.
Together, they planned on changing Jujutsu society for the better.
And if anyone could do it, Gojo could. Thanks to his bloodline, he got one of the most busted anime powers ever, Limitless.
Limitless grants Gojo a nigh-perfect defense by actualizing the very concept of infinity.
It creates an infinite space around himself, stopping anything coming his way. The dude is literally untouchable.
Kind of. Gojo tailored Limitless to automatically detect an object's mass and velocity. As the difference between himself and an object decreases, Limitless halves the object's velocity. It's like Zeno's paradox.
Think of it this way. If you're trying to get from point A to point B, first you gotta go halfway, then you gotta go another halfway, then another and another, and so on. With Limitless, you'll never arrive, just like my alimony payments.
Hence, infinity. Yeah, it might sound complicated, but it basically creates a spatial force field around Gojo at all times.
Techniques on this level would burn out other sorcerers in seconds. That's where Gojo's incredible 6 eyes come in. They let him see and near perfectly control cursed energy at the atomic level. So he'll basically never run out of juice in a fight. He isn't just built different, he was born different.
6 eyes and Limitless gave Gojo the power to
manipulate. Innate technique, Limitless, brings forth the concept of infinity, grants levitation and teleportation. 6 eyes, enhance cursed energy sensing and analysis, reduces cursed energy usage, infinitesimally, what the fuck? Cursed techniques, lapse blue, reversal red, hollow purple. That's where I've seen up to, when he uses hollow purple for the first time. I think it was for the first time. I don't think we'd seen hollow purple at that point yet. Maximum and unlimited output, barrier technique, curtain, new shadow style, simple domain, and falling blossom emotion. The fuck is that?
Manipulate space itself. Gojo's lapse blue technique attracts and condenses space into singularities. With reversal red, Gojo does the opposite, repelling space. Think push and pull. But you may be asking, how does one accomplish this with cursed energy? With math!
Yeah, it's always math and science.
Exactly! Cursed energy is typically negative like with blue, but when multiplied by itself, negative cursed energy becomes positive, creating red.
Ah, strawberry and blueberry.
So, what happens when you combine a positive and a negative?
Grape?
0. And by combining
You were right,
reversal
though.
red
Great.
and lapsed blue, Gojo creates Hollow Purple, an enormous ball of curse energy that literally applies the concept of 0 to an opponent, crushing and repelling them into nothing.
Gojo's a walking cursed Swiss Army knife. Levitation, teleportation, even expanding limitless to fry his enemies. Gojo can also use positive energy to heal humongous wounds.
Sukuna states that Gojo's reverse curse technique restores his right prefrontal cortex. On top of restoring his mental prowess, reverse curse technique can heal damaged parts of the brain, but Kashimo does state that it cannot restore a fully destroyed brain. Okay.
And he's constantly refreshing his brain with it 24/7 to keep up with all of this.
Still, there's one technique that costs more cursed energy than anything else in a sorcerer's repertoire.
Every sorcerer is born with an innate domain, a mental world shaped by their mind and heart.
Add cursed energy to
Yep.
it, and these domains can be manifested physically. A technique called domain expansion.
Every sorcerer worth their salt needs one. And you know damn well Gojo has the scariest, unlimited void. You get caught in this, your ass is grass.
Yeah.
Exposure to unlimited
Game
void
over.
overloads your consciousness with a stream of infinite information. A mere fifth of a second of exposure can leave a normal person in a vegetated state for months.
Too bad it requires so much energy you can only do it like once a day. Oh wait, except for Gojo, who has done it multiple times in a row. Thanks again, Six Eyes.
Quite frankly,
More recently, a weakened Sukuna dodged Kishimo's EM Waves Chapter 237, suggesting an even greater ceiling for Jujutsu Kaisen's speed.
Gojo was getting so strong that the axis of the Jujutsu world began to turn on him. Like the meta of a fighting game defined by one broken character, he defined the hierarchy of power in the sorcerer world. He alone was the honored one.
His mere presence can
He
cause
stood at the
earth-
top. And when you stand at the top, there's nowhere else to go. His burst shifted the world's balance, tremored an 8,000-meter deep trench, obliterated buildings and forests, processed 3 years' worth of information in a single minute, healed from certain death impalement, fought against Sukuna, the King of Curses, and defeated Jogo, Haname, Megami, Toji, and Maharaga.
Wait, he outran sonic explosions and applied cursed energy within a microsecond.
Gojo has been repeatedly stated by many to be the strongest sorcerer there is.
That includes his ex-student Hikari, who can dodge lightning, or this little volcano-headed cursed Jogo, the embodiment of humanity's fear of fire, who can bring down city-shattering meteors.
Jogo's maximum meteor is a construct generated by curse technique rather than a meteor actually being pulled from outer space. Its destructive yield is based on its ability to render Shiba to dust and ash. Jujutsu Kaisen official fanbook.
And Gojo kicked his ass with 0 effort.
But strength alone was not enough to fix his cursed world. When Geto rejected Jujutsu Society to forge his own justice, Gojo's philosophy changed. Instead of doing everything himself, he would teach a new generation of sorcerers to carry the torch when he could not.
It's all about setting an example. If it means a world where his companions can stand shoulder to shoulder as equals, who cares if he's got to show off a bit?
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by
He got tired of being at the top alone, so he decided he would show everyone how strong he was and train them to be that strong.
For feet that feel like old stucco, make them feel like skin again. Get results with O'Keeffe's Healthy Feet.
I knew that this could be the start of something. Baby, I don't know where we're going.
Ah, what a beautiful day. The sun is shining, the birds are singing.
And a giant AK-47 carpet bombed the neighborhood. The sky
What
rains
the
blood. Millions
fuck?
are dead. Dear God, Wiz, it's the end times. Run away!
Calm down, there's no reason to panic. It's just that in the world of Chainsaw Man, devils exist, and your fear makes them stronger. Never mind. Panic.
Remember that spider
Yeah,
you
what
shrieked
the
at for
shit?
the last time you cut yourself dicing onions? Now the spider and knife devils are the monstrous products of your nightmares, and they hate you specifically.
The fearsome gun devil stood as the epitome of terror and destruction, and was responsible for a countless loss of lives. But a group was formed to combat it and the other devils that plagued humanity. The Devil Hunters.
Live in Japan and got yourself a pesky zombie problem? It's time to call the 4th Division of the Public Safety Devil Extermination.
A government-funded devil hunter unit led by a stone-cold vixen, Makima.
She's dressed like Columbo with a blank stare and a sadistic streak. She's been in the game for a while and just found herself a new prize.
The union of man and pet devil dog, Denji, the Chainsaw Man. Upon meeting him, she gave him a choice. Live under her as a human dog or die by her hand as a devil.
Sounds sketch, but Denji's brain was set to teenage boy and Makima's hot. So in short order, Makima got a new pet.
Makima may seem terrifying at first, but she is a dog lover and a cinephile. Though you'd be ill-advised to mess with her.
Sure, for her position, you'd expect her to know how to defend herself. Martial arts here, swordplay there, but devil hunters like Makima become real threats when they make contracts with devils. A classic Faustian bargain. Give something of yourself. The devil gives you power.
She can call death upon anyone she chooses through a complicated ritual and even survive being shot through the head.
Because, as they say in the devil hunter world, you need your screws loose to live.
But she might have more than a few screws loose because, in actuality, Makima is a devil herself.
Gasp! There's no way this clearly evil character could be a villain in disguise.
The Japanese government has been keeping a close...
Bruh. Age unknown. Height 173 centimeters or 5'8". The Control Devil, leader of the Public Safety Extermination Special Division 4. God damn, that is a mouthful. Likes Chainsaw Man, dogs, and cinema. Dislikes disobedience, bad movies, and buffets. Why is buffets crossed out?
Close eye on Makima ever since she was born. Rightfully so. She isn't some F-tier scrub like the Bat or Leech Devils. She's the Control Devil, embodying humanity's collective fear of the oppressor. In a way, she's even more terrifying than the Gun Devil.
Makima can exert absolute mental control over any creature she views as inferior to her.
Which is everyone.
People, animals, even other devils become puppets under her command. She can even hijack their senses to listen and see whatever she wants.
As a devil, Makima's far stronger, faster, and more durable than the average person.
Plus, her metabolism lets her slam down.
Control works on any being she perceives as inferior, can manifest its power in the form of chains. Devil physiology, telekinesis, usually used as bang. What does that mean? Damage transference, damage transferred among Japan's populace. Oh, that's gonna make things difficult. Death ritual, superhuman senses, Halo portal creation.
As many beers as she wants to. So, Makima, if you're into countlessly divorced alcoholic rednecks, you know who to call.
By drinking blood, she can heal her injuries, and her sense of smell is so potent that it can spot targets from over 300 miles away.
Not only can she control your mind, but your body too with telekinesis. She can mess up your internal organs or blow you away with finger guns. She doesn't shoot you with invisible bullets. She points at you and then a wound just happens out of nowhere.
She can
controls all sorts of things with
she
these
can hit
ghostly
Gojo.
chains that stab her victims.
While it's not explicitly stated, these chains appear to be intangible. They phase through targets they control and leave no blood or any sign of injury.
They're hooked. They're easier to control.
Makima has plenty of devils in her collection. There's the massive Fox Devil, the Future Devil for precognition, and a ton of devils that exist just to stab you.
But I'm definitely all about the blow shit up devil, the undead party devil, the flamethrower devil, and the unholy matrimony that's the angel devil, which will make you see God before you die.
After about the 20th time, seeing God gets kind of old.
Wait, what?
Anyway, like other devils.
Fox Devil, Curse Devil, Punishment Devil, Mold Devil. Why? Stone Devil, Future Devil, sees the future based on the contract. Spider Devil, portals to other dimensions. Why does the Spider Devil portal to other dimensions? That doesn't make any sense. Angel Devil, Mantis Devil, really? Snake Devil, Zombie Devil. These devils are not created equal. I mean, why even get some of these on your side? I mean, like, Mold Devil and Mantis Devil, really? Stone Devil? What the fuck are they gonna do? You gonna throw rocks at me?
Makima can form contracts with people to give them power.
But unlike other devils, her control powers allow her to force people into contracts that exclusively benefit her.
Like when she forced Japan's prime minister into a contract that states, and I quote, any attack made on her will be changed into appropriate illnesses or accidents among Japanese citizens.
That's fucked up.
The verbiage of Makima's contract is worded specifically so that she quickly heals from any damage that is perceived to be an attack, transferring said damage to some poor random citizen of Japan.
Oh man, imagine like taking a shit and Makima gets hit and whoops, guess you're wiping at the pearly gates.
With these abilities and contracts, Makima set out to create the world that she wanted. No more pain, no more war, no more bad movies. The world would be perfect. But she needed the Chainsaw Devil to do so, who just so happened to be living as Denji's heart.
Yep, that cute doggo is actually the Chainsaw Devil. Oh, talk about shitty luck, kid.
In the depths of hell, Makima watched in awe as the Chainsaw Devil literally ate devils and eradicated plagues from existence. Because of the Chainsaw Devil.
Shark Fiend, Violence Fiend, Reze the Bomb Hybrid, Katana Man, Flamethrower Hybrid, Crossbow Hybrid, Whip Hybrid, Spear Hybrid, and Longsword Hybrid.
In this world, concepts like nuclear bombs, HIV, and even Nazis do not exist.
He literally ate the concept of Nazis out of existence.
However, as Makima
Good
didn't see Denji or the Chainsaw Devil as beneath her, she could not directly control him. She needed to manipulate him. So she decided to build Denji up and then tear him down as cruelly as possible.
First, she murdered Denji's found family one by one.
Then she made Chainsaw Man into a public hero, stripping him of the power devils receive by being feared.
Oh, so she could control her precious Chainsaw Devil and make him press backspace on anything she didn't like.
Her telekinetic bangs shot the Chainsaw Devil out of orbit, and they stalemated the Darkness Devil, which embodies humanity's greatest fears.
Makima's stronger than devils like the boss.
Manipulated most of the world's nations into submission, banged Portia. You could have phrased that better. Banged Portia out of orbit, took control of most of Japan's devils, fiends, and hybrids, regenerated from bisection and multiple severed limbs, stalemated the Darkness Devil, defeated Reze, Quinoxi, Gun Devil Fragment, Porchetta's Chainsaw Devil form.
Devil, who can easily blow up buildings, or the Typhoon Devil, which made city-spanning storms.
And while fighting the Gun Devil Fragment, this large behemoth moved over 300 miles in a few seconds.
She was pretty much unbeatable, though ultimate power can make it pretty lonely at the top.
Makima's
Fuck
quest
her.
may have been to make
She
the world
deserves
a
to
place
be
for
lonely. She's a
domination,
piece of shit.
But the truth she was never willing to admit to herself was that she really wanted to understand human emotion. After all, you can't control someone and love them at the same time.
Too bad she never quite found the answer she was looking for when the Chainsaw Man defeated her once and for all by cutting her to pieces, cooking her into a 7-course feast, and fucking ate her?
Believe it or not,
Yeah.
the love Makima tried to understand was her undoing. Despite the hell she put him through, Denji still loved Makima in his own way. So the act of devouring her was its own act of love and did not count as an attack, bypassing her immortality.
Completely batshit
What
insane.
the
That's
fuck?
Chainsaw Man for you. Who knows, Wiz? Eventually, the Control Devil will come back, though it won't be Makima.
While her path back to hell was paved with good intentions, in the world of devils, it's no surprise that Makima came so close to her ideal future.
Domino's
Wait,
best
but
deal
if
ever.
he
Get
ate her,
Indian
does that mean
tossed
he
pan,
destroyed
thin
the
crust, or
concept
New
of
York style pizza
control?
with any toppings for only $13.99.
Like, what
Your
would a
favorite
world
pizza-
like that even look like? Like, what is control? Like, it's all self-control? Just people controlling other people? Like, what the? That's a weird thing to think about.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, a couple of rules for a unique fight like this one.
We'll be considering
All right.
curses and devils to be comparable beings to avoid arbitrary terminology in their power systems that might make this fight incompatible. We will
Okay, fair
also
enough.
consider Gojo and Makima citizens of the same Japan to balance it out.
It's time for a death battle!
Crazy OP edition, motherfuckers. Log December 6, 20XX, and a normal curse incident. Hey, I was reading that. A normal curse incident was reported at a local Tokyo mall. Satoru Gojo was dispatched. Alright. I'm guessing she wouldn't see Gojo as inferior, but why wouldn't she? Like obviously she won't.
Killer bench some flicks right about now.
I mean, like, she can do instant death on people, and she can control people she sees as lesser, right? So why wouldn't she just instantly be able to control Gojo? Would she not see him as lesser than her? Whether or not that's true. And what about the instant death thing?
Killer bench some flicks right about now. But gotta kill you instead. Can't just let a curse do as they please.
Zombies.
No talking during the movie.
Huh? First technique lapse.
Let's see what this does. Just killed somebody.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. It's such a Gojo thing, man. Oh, poor guy.
Careful. I could have died, but that much won't matter to you soon.
Don't worry. I'm Satoru Gojo, the strongest.
Confident, strong, and idiotic. We'll be sure to write it on your tombstone.
Listen, bitch, you ain't writing shit on his tombstone. He's putting you 6 feet under.
Calm.
Yeah, no. It's gonna turn all your devils into dust.
I should be good, since you're so weak.
Oh.
Bang.
Oh. Yeah, I was worried about that.
Bang. Bang.
Been a while since you've seen your own blood, huh, buddy? This has got to be fun.
Now, be a good boy and play dead.
Fuck you.
Should I bark too? I'm getting really tired of your pets.
There we go. Fucking show her the business.
Domain expansion. Unlimited void. Throughout heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one.
Hollow purple, bitch. How'd he kill her, though? Satoru Gojo eliminated the one known as the Control Devil. 1,012 non-sorcerers were killed. Damn. A lot of people. Less than I thought, but a lot of
Do you
people.
think that place is offering discounted tickets or too soon? Yeah, I'll order online.
Gojo and Makima were complicated to compare. On the surface level, Gojo had a lot going for him.
It's no surprise, given that his reputation in Jujutsu Kaisen is that of its pinnacle. At least it was.
First of all, it's unlikely Makima would see...
To use control, Makima has historically needed to prove herself superior to foes such as the Gun Devil, Quanxi, and technically Reze. She would likely need to do the same against Gojo. Okay. That explains my question.
Inferior to her, in a similar way to how she saw Denji. So she wouldn't be able to immediately control Gojo.
Gojo's birth caused a giant shift in the world of curses. Plenty of people have recognized that after only seeing him once. Being better than everyone is literally Gojo's thing.
Gojo broke out of Hanami's flower field, a mind control technique that trains foes' will to fight. He could do the same against control as Power and the Angel Devil have done before.
Plus, Gojo automatically refreshes his brain with positive cursed energy 24/7. even if Makima could control him, it wouldn't last very long.
Gojo was obviously stronger too. The best feat we can compare Makima to is the
Given leeway, Makima and Gojo could scale to the Falling Devil's gravity manipulation and Yuki's black hole, respectively. Regardless, raw power would still be in favor of Gojo.
Typhoon Devil storms, but that's nothing compared to the meteor created by Jogo, who is leagues below Gojo in strength.
However, considering she reacted to the Gun Devil fragment, Makima would actually be a bit faster, though she would need to be able to get past Limitless for her speed
Which
to
is
matter.
impossible.
Makima had more devils than you can shake a
Sorcerer's body acts as a domain, preventing foreign objects from being created inside of them. This counters the Mold Devil's ability to form mold within others' bodies. Okay, so the Mold Devil is a lot more impressive than I thought, but it's not going to help here.
been at, but most were rendered moot against Limitless. Knives, fire, bombs, zombies, it's all stuff Gojo's dealt with before, and with zero issues.
And Gojo could easily wipe out her demonic crowd with red and blue whenever he wanted to.
The Future Devil could clue her in on anything nasty coming her way, but that wouldn't last forever. Plus, with Gojo's 6 eyes and teleportation, she had zero opportunities to break away and set up her instant kill moves.
But Gojo would obviously lose if he couldn't permanently kill Makima. 6 Eyes couldn't inform him of Makima's contract with the Prime Minister, and eventually one of Gojo's attacks could cause his death instead, even if it took a while.
And Makima did have a way past Limitless with her finger guns. Makima could land attacks directly on Gojo's body, meaning there's no projectile for Limitless to detect and infinitely slow down.
Though when they did land, Gojo's healing ensured that he repaired his body quickly.
On the flip side, Makima didn't have a counter to Gojo's domain expansion. Unlimited Void overloads its target with unlimited information. It's not really an attack.
You could call it an attack on the senses, but even if she could transfer it to other Japanese citizens, she still could not escape an infinite amount of information.
We can compare this to the Doll Devil, who was defeated by a technique similar to Unlimited Void.
Despite being able to transfer her mind across a large number of hosts, the Doll Devil was still trying to transfer infinite information across finite people. Even with all of Japan as mental meat shields, Makima would still be overwhelmed.
Wait, doesn't that mean Gojo just unintentionally killed basically everyone in Japan?
Don't think about it. Regardless, Gojo is immune to his own Unlimited Void, so he was still unaffected.
Good for him. The moment Unlimited Void landed, Makima would be stuck, opening her up for a good old hollow.
Hollow Purple's convergence into divergence crushes and atomizes matter. It does not remove them from existence, evident by Toji's revival in Chiba, where he still existed.
Purple.
Her contract isn't perfect. Makima only ever regenerated as long as there was some mass to come back from.
But Hollow Purple disintegrates anything it touches to zero. Literally, there's
Gojo was stronger, had better area control with red and blue. His Hollow Purple exceeded Makima's regeneration, and his Infinity and RCT countered most of Makima's offense. However, he was slower than Makima. Makima was faster. Her contract countered some of Gojo's offense abilities. Bang and control chains were capable of bypassing Limitless, but she was weaker and would not or cannot control Gojo.
no way she was regenerating from that.
Sure, control as a concept will always exist, but a reincarnation of the Control Devil isn't Makima. This was one of the craziest fights we've ever had. However, with Gojo's raw power, broken counters, and unbelievably busted Limitless, Makima lost control over this fight.
Makima thought she had Gojo by the ball and chain, but in the end, she was left hollow.
The winner is Satoru Gojo.
Yeah, I figured he was gonna win. Nice, I like this fight. We got Scooby-Doo versus Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'm gonna go with Scooby-Doo, just because I like Scooby-Doo better than Courage the Cowardly Dog. I actually haven't watched Courage the Cowardly Dog that much, I don't think. I've seen a couple episodes. I know of him. And I know him and Scooby do a crossover. Which is interesting. Because they don't usually have people fight each other who have already met each other before. A couple times. Like with Batman and Spider-Man. But, yeah.
This episode of Death Battle, Scooby-Doo, the miraculous mutt from Mystery Incorporated.
Courage, the cowardly dog straight out of nowhere.
Canis Familiaris, man's best friend, the dog. No animal companion has stood by humanity's side as long or as loyally.
Even, and maybe especially, these two yellow-bellied, lily-livered scaredy cats. Or dogs. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Throughout the ages, countless philosophers have posited the same question time and time again.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
Pretty much everywhere. From cartoons to comics, from video games to board games, from live theater
to the most incredible major motion picture of all time. He's the greatest Dane since Hamlet.
But his monumental presence in popular culture belies his humble origins. Born to Momsy and Dada.
Full name, Scooby-Doo. Species, Great Dane, Anaki. Height, 2'4", or 72 centimeters. Weighs 231 pounds or 150 kilograms. Is 7 in dog years. Has a driver's license, same birthday as Bigfoot. And is friends with Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Do in Dewsville, USA.
Dewsville ain't what it used to be ever since they moved all those manufacturing jobs to Bangladesh.
The young Scoobert was adopted by the Rogers family and their prodigal gluttonous son, Norville, better known by his friends as
Shaggy.
Those friends being Velma Dinkley, Daphne Blake, Fred Jones, and sometimes...
With their powers combined, they are Mystery Incorporated, a cadre of snot-nosed teenagers traveling the Nixon-era United States in a cushed-up Volkswagen, foiling seemingly paranormal crimes and unmasking corrupt authority figures.
All of whom definitely would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids and their dog.
Scooby is indispensable in Mystery Inc. investigations. Great Danes were bred by 17th century German nobility to hunt bear, boar, and deer, which means he's a master tracker. Scooby's super sniffer nose can root out the bad guys no matter how well hidden.
They were called Kamerhunda, or chamber dogs, because they stay in their prince's chambers and protect them from assassins. Such brave, fearless doggos.
Too bad for
Good
Shaggy
boy.
and the gang, the apple didn't just fall far from the tree, it defied the laws of Newtonian physics and rocketed into space at the speed of light. Because
Yeah.
Scooby is an absolute coward.
He's terrified of his own shadow and...
Hey, okay, I will want to make very clear, he is a coward, but he is the kind of coward that I respect because he will still do stuff despite being scared out of his mind. I've read some of the like Batman and Scooby-Doo team-up comics, and there's one where like Batman and all of the mystery gang are like incapacitated, and Ace the Bat Hound asks Scooby like, "Sure you want to do this?" And he's like, "Yeah, my friends are in danger, man." Like he will do stuff.
Constantly anxious about everything imaginable, and his only motivation is his delicious Scooby snacks.
Which makes it so baffling that he's actually kind of a badass.
Scooby's a master
Yeah, see,
of the...
or like that instance it just showed at the end of the second Scooby-Doo movie. Go back a little bit. Right here at the end of the second Scooby-Doo movie, when his friends were in danger, they were all trapped by the tar monster, he fucking... I was gonna say man up, but he didn't. He's not a man, he's a dog. But he stepped up and he saved his friends.
Baffling that he's actually kind of a badass.
Scooby's a master of the dupe, a classic technique of cartoon tricksters.
Sometimes called the power of positive assertion. Scooby flexes his mastery of disguise to fool would-be attackers. Like
Shaggy can do it too.
zombies as a belly dancer, or tricking a jester into entering an existential crisis.
This man was so thoroughly convinced to rethink his entire life, he went all the way home and got into bed before realizing he'd been fooled.
Obviously,
Bruh.
these disguises shouldn't work at all, but Scooby's just so supernaturally talented, they just do. See, this is a perfect example. No one in their right mind would think that that's anyone but Boomstick in an awful wig and makeup.
That's my mom.
Dude, you met his mom. We saw her in the Kool-Aid Man versus Macho Man fight. Like, come on, you dick.
So sorry, ma'am. If those disguises sound completely impossible, that's because they are. You might have thought of the Scooby-Doo series as being pretty grounded with all its men in masks, but then one day, the mask
didn't come off.
That's right, it's Terror Time again!
Yeah, that was, oh my god, such a good song.
Scooby became just as bonkers to match. Like, remember those Scooby snacks? They started to...
Scooby Snacks, Mystery Machine, the Super Spooker 3000, Time Scepter, Wonder Wand, Invisible Madman Suit, Instant Monster Ray, Sword of Fate, Tome of Doom, and the Chest of Demons.
Give him a physical boost in strength, kind of like Popeye's spinach.
That's nothing. Shaggy's brilliant uncle, Albert Shackleford, upgraded those snacks with nanite tech.
Nanite Scooby Snacks, Blimp, Magnet, Shrink, Flight, Supersonic, Panther, Invisibility, Cloning, Supersized, Dolphin, Super Elasto, Duplicating, Force Field, and Monster. Anything from his pockets. Wait, he's got pockets? Like Brian Griffin? Got little pockets in his fur?
Technology, giving them a variety of different effects. Everything from invisibility, robotic armor, force field, super intelligence, and Panther!
Yeah, nano machines, dog!
Because
And
why
we're just getting
not?
started. He can stretch and squash his body any way he likes, even duplicating himself or regenerating from damage.
Like being chopped into pieces, crumbling into dust, or...
Toon Force. Squash and stretch body, elasticity, shapeshifting, duplication. Flight, levitation, hammer space, fourth wall awareness, imagination creation, plot manipulation, size manipulation, time manipulation, and painting hopping.
Just blowing up.
His soul was literally scared out of his body, and both his body and soul kept going at the same time. That doesn't make sense.
He can appear in multiple places at once, ignore the laws of gravity, rewind time with his time scepter or super speed, draw things into existence, and mess with the plot of his own show.
Things getting a little too spooky for him? He'll just cut to commercial break.
He's also got weapons like the Super Spooker 3000, a gun that instills fear into the hearts of man.
And no, not like an actual gun, it literally shoots fear.
Or the Chest of Demons, an ark containing 13 monstrous ghosts.
Ghosts!
Should you be trapped within its...
No, technically they're ghosts. Well, typically used to trap all manners of ghosts and demons. One of the original 13 ghosts was in fact a mortal man who had their mortality stripped by the chest itself. Interesting.
Grasp, your body and soul will be imprisoned in everlasting torment in this heretofore undiscovered 10th circle of hell.
Neat! Scooby-Doo has dodged laser beams and electromagnetic waves, survived being at the epicenter of an explosion that blew up time, and successfully performed the Zabrinsky Triangle with Shaggy and Maddie Ziegler.
The Zabrinsky Triangle is a dance so unbelievably dangerous that even imperfect executions have caused widespread destruction.
When performed perfectly, it was so beautiful it literally lit up the entire universe and blew up the enormous snow globe containing it. It makes sense if you watch the show. Actually,
does it?
No, it doesn't.
Taking this literally, we can measure the volume of the broken glass compared to the size of our entire cosmos within it. In order to shatter what is essentially an enormous glass superstructure, each dancer would have to be generating enough energy to destroy our universe 11 quintillion times over.
That's right. Maddie Ziegler is a universe buster.
With Scooby-Doo as their non-omniscient mascot.
Trapped 12 of 13 ghosts of Scooby-Doo wielded a yellow lantern ring. Yeah, I read that, and that was what I was talking about. The freaking, like Batman and Superman, or Batman and Scooby-Doo team-ups. One of the comics, the Legion of Doom or whatever, they pretend to be ghosts, and by doing that, they're able to like essentially get the jump on all the Justice League members and like one by one capture them or teleport them somewhere. I forget what happened exactly. But at the end, the Mystery Gang and like Batman are fighting against the Legion of Doom, and Sinestro goes to attack Scooby and Shaggy, and his ring creates a hamburger. And they're like, "What, a hamburger? I was just thinking about that." And then the ring flies off of Sinestro's finger and goes over to Scooby and Shaggy and says, "Scooby-Doo and and Norval Shaggy Rogers, you have shown the ability to like instill great fear," and then puts itself on Shaggy's finger and gives Shaggy and Scooby the ability to, at the same time, somehow wield that power of the ring and make yellow energy constructs and shit. And when Sinestro's like, "What? How? Who do you guys scare?" Their answer is, "We scare ourselves silly every single day." It was great, man. It made so much sense. It was awesome. He was a teacher at the Ghoul School. He once ran backwards in time. He tossed a T-Rex skeleton, swapped heads with Shaggy, has defeated Simon Lenar, Professor Pericles, Dick Dastardly, and Scrappy-Doo. Fucking hate Scrappy-Doo, man. Fuck that guy.
Mystery Incorporated has saved the world from alien invasions, wielded the power of a yellow lantern ring, and
Oh
was
yeah,
even
see
made
that right there? That was literally the comic I was talking
from
about.
alien invasions, wielded the power of a yellow lantern.
This is literally the comic I was just talking about. You see, freaking it goes on to Shaggy, but like Scooby's also getting the fucking power. This is just friends in a disguise because they had to pretend to be some super friends so that the Legion of Doom wouldn't get suspicious. But like that's what happened. They shrunk them all down. They were all super tiny and couldn't help. So he just made them big again with the power of the yellow ring. Here's the thing right here. You too can cause the greatest fear of all. Who could you scare? Like ourselves. We scare ourselves silly all the time.
Lantern ring, and was even made a member of the Mystery Analysts of Gotham by Batman himself.
Yes,
Yeah.
Batman, the world's greatest detective, recognizes Scooby's skills.
Even facing
Yeah.
down and defeating the evil entity, an eldritch dark god, and surviving its death, which rewrote all of reality. Yeah, you know, the talking dog that crossed over with the Harlem Globetrotters and Don Knotts defeated
Yeah.
Satan. No biggie.
Duh.
Where is Scooby-Doo? He's solving mysteries and saving the world with his found family.
Also, he's an alien.
Wait, what?
Yep.
I was raised in a funny way.
I would highly recommend coming out.
Basically, every talking
My mom.
animal in
That's not
Scooby-Doo
how
is
Dad
an
does
alien.
it.
We interrupt this program to bring you Courage, the Cowardly Dog Show, starring Courage, the Cowardly Dog.
Abandoned as a pup, he was found by Muriel, who lives in the middle of nowhere with her husband, Eustace Bag.
But creepy stuff happens in nowhere.
It's up to Courage to save his new home.
Stupid Wiz, you made me look bad. Ooga booga booga!
Dick.
You're breathing on me. Get away.
Sorry, but who wouldn't be excited for one of animation's mightiest mutts?
Courage is an adorable pink beagle with a
Name Courage. Species Beagle. Height Beagle sized. Owners Muriel and Eustace Bag. Nickname Stupid Dog, Dear Boy, and Leon. Okay. Not named Stinky Lulu. Thank goodness. Can lay 14-karat golden eggs. Bro, what? And is friends with Scooby-Doo.
heart of gold and an undying love for his doting Scottish mistress.
Beagles are hair hunters with intense separation anxiety, excellent senses of smell, and a set of lungs that'll knock your socks off. All of which fits Courage to a T, especially the howling part.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, Courage has a lot to howl about. Nowhere USA is a magnet for interdimensional weirdness, attracting some of the strangest
Like Gravity
freaks in the
Falls.
world.
Like master criminals, cats, and LaQuack, mattress demons, mummies, weremoles, mad scientists, gods and goddesses, aliens, robots, alien robots, this chicken, the king of flan, and of course, the United States government.
And poor
Of course.
Courage is absolutely terrified of all of it. But his devotion to Muriel means he'll always step up and fight the good fight.
Another one of the
Thing
cowards
he's
I
kind of a
like.
Genius. He's a brilliant engineer capable of whipping up the most devious of traps almost instantly. And he's got an unending supply of tools at his disposal.
Everything from his trusty mallet to
Ray gun, mallet, magic tree of nowhere, computer, banishment spell, Godbone, Flamethrower, Giant Chainsaw, Mind Control Helmet and Remote, Instant Quicksand, Gas Mask, and Dark Matter Meteor.
Grappling hooks, ray guns, flamethrowers, chainsaws, bombs, beagle-sized cannons, yo-yos,
And
a
much,
mind control
much
helmet,
more.
vampire hunting gear, and the Godbone.
An ancient artifact that is completely irresistible to any mortal dog, forcing them to lick it until they die.
Except for courage, of course. I guess if you have the willpower to stare down a gigantic purple foot mobster, you can resist even the most delicious.
Ew, is he
of
licking
treats.
that thing?
And he can
Ew.
pull all of this stuff out of his ass anytime he wants. He always has exactly what he needs.
All thanks to his computer named Computer. A sentient desktop which knows almost anything and everything, even if he has a bit of an attitude about it.
Which means he's always prepared, especially when he can shapeshift his body into literally anything he can think of.
From inanimate objects to monsters to different animation mediums entirely. Courage usually uses this as a form of charades to communicate with others, but don't get it twisted. These aren't just visual animation gags. His body is actually shapeshifting.
Courage's body is a canvas upon which his imagination runs wild. He can stretch to crazy lengths, shrink to micro...
Also has Toon Force, just like Scooby. Squash and stretch body, just like Scooby. Elasticity, shapeshifting, duplication. Flight, levitation, hammer space, fourth wall awareness, imagination creation, plot manipulation, size manipulation, time manipulation, and painting hopping. You know, the exact same as fucking Scooby-Doo. So it's just two characters with the same powers fighting each other.
Turn invisible, appear anywhere he wants, or duplicate himself.
He's also effectively immune to damage. Oh, he still feels pain, but apparently his sheer terror overrides it.
Like the times he tore himself in half, or turned himself fully inside out. The dude
Jesus
somehow
Christ.
vaporized his entire body completely, without even ash remaining, and he just popped back good as new.
Classic cartoon shenanigans, but technically anatomically correct. Until it isn't. Courage can create objects from his imagination and often breaks the fourth wall, directly addressing the audience.
Now, you would think being an impossible-to-kill force of nature would boost his confidence a bit, but isn't that what anxiety does to you? It undermines your sense of self-worth and magnifies the problems around you.
It really does.
But Courage is also fighting gods just as powerful as himself. Like this enormous alien which could spike meteors so hard it spun the Earth 1,000 years into the future. That's crazy.
Then Courage got shot out of a cannon that punched...
Performed an exorcism, tanked a nuclear explosion, physically created a tidal wave, survived being pulverized to dust, pummeled by Valkyries and Valhalla, ran the sun's radius in 8 seconds, defeated the evil Empress, Dr. Zolost, Rumpelstiltskin, and Mecha
him
Courage.
through the moon, only to get slapped by that same alien and sent crashing back to the planet. And he was fine.
Courage is strong enough to physically patch up holes in the ozone layer, hold stars in his hands, and scream so loud he shattered the sun.
A scream like that would be like getting hit with over 100 septillion hydrogen bombs all at once, which is, you know, a lot.
And keep in mind, the sound waves of his scream would have had to travel through the near vacuum of space. Basically a complete scientific impossibility.
Next time you replace my beers in the fridge with LaCroix, I'm getting my boy Jack Spaniels to blow up the sun. You've been warned.
A global team of innovators and industry
Damn,
experts
Boomstick.
bringing real-world experience to every implementation.
That's not all. One time he operated a Peloton controlling a UFO and pedaled it fast enough to fly past Saturn, enter hyperspace, and cross the Milky Way galaxy.
Though Courage's
Bro,
greatest
what?
challenge came from inside his very home. A monster who
Yeah, that guy's a
tortures
piece
his
of
poor
shit.
pooch every single day. A depraved, psychotic motherfucker. The true prince of darkness. The greatest villain in cartoon history. Eustace.
He
Fuck
even
that
collected
guy.
all of Courage's greatest foes like a legion of doom.
Why, though?
Beat Courage to a pulp in a game of dodgeball.
Bro.
He gives all rednecks a bad name, Wiz. I want to end him. Low.
Okay, well, Courage's accumulated PTSD always held him back until he met a kindred spirit, another cowardly monster hunting
Scooby-Doo,
hound.
where are
Scooby-Doo.
you?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Helping out Courage
Together,
the
they
Cowardly
discovered
Dog,
the source
apparently.
of Nowhere's
Straight Out of Nowhere crossover gave Courage a legitimate finale and explanation for Nowhere's supernatural phenomenon. Because of this, it will be considered canon to both of the dogs.
Weirdness, a dark matter meteor that controlled reality itself.
Originally, the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs, its dark matter can rewrite the laws of physics, control minds, and turn Courage into a giant kaiju.
Taking the meteor for himself, Courage finally faced his fears, defeating this cicada queen goddess thing and saving his family once and for all. Yes, even Eustace.
Fuck that guy.
So let that be a lesson to any who would encroach upon the Bag's humble farm. It has a protector.
He may be small and he may be scared, but standing up to our fears is what makes us brave in the first place. That's
exactly
why his name is Courage.
I like that he said that, because so many people see fearlessness as just that, the absence of fear. You are not afraid. But that's not true. The true fearlessness or true courage comes from not that you're not afraid, but from being afraid and saying, fuck it, I'm gonna do this anyways. Because if I don't, who will?
This episode of Death Battle sponsored by
Shades
and of
Sunglow Divide. They're
challenging new prey.
Shady
Death.
Shades Raid.
Alright, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a dog battle! Oh, God, when I say it like that, it sounds...
Yeah, don't say it like that. It doesn't sound very good.
Muriel? 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 Maggie? Maggie?
I thought they were supposed to fight.
What do I do? What do I do?
Courage, what the shit, bro? Not cool. So that's why they're gonna fight.
Robert's got it! Robert's got it! Come on, come on!
Oh shit. Classic. No, not that door. Not that door. What's wrong with that door?
Big boy.
How to defeat a Great Dane with a speech impediment, eh? You twit.
What the fuck? Shit. That was bright.
All dogs love their bones, don't they?
Yeah, but he's not a dog. He's an alien. Oh. Oh shit, run, Courage.
This could be bad. My name isn't Chad James. And it's not.
Run. Oh shit, he ate the bone. Oh damn, what the fuck, Scooby? What the fuck? This battle is crazy. Jesus. to take and kill these fuckers. Yeah, fuck this thing. Oh, it was that guy.
What's her?
Fuck you, dude. Yeah. Oh, fuck you. Oh, shit. He deserved it.
Shop over 1,000 products at jaw-dropping discounts of up to 60% off. Structube. J'adore.
With AlphaSense, you're not just monitoring the market, you're building your future with intelligence.
KO! Wait, what? Who won?
Wiz, as happy as I am to avoid on-screen dog murder, wasn't one of them supposed to die?
Not
yeah, I thought so.
Sancho Singularity event of 2015 if we had a result like this.
Oh man, I remember that fight. I'll link that one.
It can't end like this, right?
Even with Courage's insane cosmic...
Because both Scooby and Courage were portrayed as on par with each other in their crossover, their physical stats were effectively equalized for this fight, making it a non-factor.
Feats, you'd think the Zabrinsky Triangle would be enough to seal the deal, but both pooches could regenerate from basically any kind of physical damage.
Both were incredibly smart in different ways. Scooby was more of a trickster with his dupes, while Courage was a scheming genius. Computer could have given Courage the edge, if not...
Without straight out of nowhere, Courage may still compare to the Simplicity Triangle via his crossovers with series like Ben 10 and Billy and Mandy, Fusion Fall, Cartoon Network, Block Party.
Not for their canon crossover, where it failed to have solid information on Scooby and the gang.
So I guess it came down to their unique abilities, and for 90% of their arsenals, they were evenly matched. Transmutation, mind control, you get it.
Neither could destroy the other's soul. Courage has only exorcised demons, and Scooby's Sword of Fate does not target soul explicitly. It only destroyed the Sword of Doom, which vesseled the Dark Black Samurai spirit.
Cartoons with basically anything, except for the Chest of Demons and the Dark Matter Meteor.
Sure, the chest could theoretically always trap Courage, but he'd always be able to escape and destroy it with the Dark Matter Meteor.
But Scooby could repair the damage by...
Desmondo's magic pen, which is similar to the Dark Matter Meteor, was used to escape the Chest of Demons. Conversely, Scooby can undo the effects of the Dark Matter Meteor with his own abilities.
By reversing time and then trap him again.
And then Courage would break out again. You know where this is going.
Ultimately, this battle between man's best friends would never end.
But this is a death battle. Somebody
Scooby-Doo was equal in strength, speed, and durability to Courage, and had similar abilities as well as a similar arsenal. He was more street smart though, and had the Chest of Demons, but he could not kill Courage. Courage equaled Scooby in strength, speed, and durability, and had similar abilities and a similar arsenal, but he was more book smart and had the Dark Matter Meteor, but he also could not kill Scooby-Doo.
Asked to die.
Someone did, Wiz. Someone did.
Fuck
tell you
that
that
guy.
you're kind of scary sometimes.
I don't like dog killers.
Scooby and Courage
Yeah,
were
that's fair.
incredibly tough opponents that could go blow for blow for blow. They were smart, powerful, and incredibly broken.
Doggone it, Wiz. I guess you could say Eustace had one hell of a rough day. I shih tzu not. Oh, those were powerful.
Stop. This battle is a draw. Hi.
Alrighty. And finally, we've got Rick Sanchez versus the Doctor. Which Doctor? Doctor Who, obviously. Duh. I'm gonna go with Rick Sanchez. I haven't seen that much of Doctor Who. I've seen a little bit. And I don't even know which Doctor it was that I watched. There's been like 13 of them, right? I think 14 or 15 by now. Damn. But I've seen like up to like season 4. No, like season 5 or 6, I think, of Rick and Morty. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I've seen quite a bit of it. So I'm gonna cast my vote for Rick Sanchez, even though, I mean, the Doctor will probably win because doesn't he regenerate from everything? Like he can't die. He just gets reborn in like a new body.
Rick Sanchez,
the Doctor.
These brilliant geniuses dominate the cosmos, but
See, that's
who
not the
would
Doctor
win
I
an all-out
recognize.
brawl? He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Everything about Morty Smith's life was perfectly average. Average house, average family, average school.
Maybe slightly below average intelligence.
But everything changed the day his grandpa Rick came home.
Yeah, in style! Cause Rick Sanchez is anything but average.
Rick is easily the smartest.
Full name, Rick Sanchez. Age, 70 years. Height 6'6" or 198 centimeters. His home dimension is C137, also known as the smartest man in the universe. A Galactic Federation criminal. Likes McDonald's, alcohol, and planets. Dislikes pirates, squirrels, and Rick Prime. Blue hair is his natural color.
Man in the universe, and its most dangerous criminal. He spent years on the run from the Galactic Federation, going on adventures across the multiverse.
Who cares about the emotional trauma from abandoning his daughter, right? And then he took her son and put him in life-threatening danger. Bye!
Thus formed the greatest duo of the generation.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, mostly Rick. Morty's the cannon fodder who smuggles grapefruit-sized seeds up his ass.
Oh, maybe at first.
Episode.
Rick is an unparalleled inventor, always ready to face even the squanchiest of alien foes.
He's got your usuals: laser gun, invisible.
Class C cyborg implants, drones, gravity guns, hologram decoys, invisibility belt, laser weapons, mind manipulators, and his Mr. Meeseeks box.
Invisibility belt, shrink ray, cyborg implants, the works.
As well as some weirder things, like a Mr. Meeseeks box, which can
nanofiber defense mesh, Omega device, Operation Phoenix, portal gun, time manipulators, time stop, probability manipulation, and the respawn button.
An infinite number of irritating temporary life forms that will work tirelessly to accomplish a given task.
Or a series of android decoys that are so perfectly created they don't even realize they're decoys, which leads them to create decoys that create decoys, and so on.
Rick's gadgets can erase your memories, manipulate and travel through time, and even make a surface true level, as in perfectly flat, something normally mathematically impossible.
Yeah.
So beautiful that experiencing it for only a moment before returning to non-Euclidean space can emotionally scar you for life.
He can even inject you with his own genetic info and instantly chest burst a clone of himself from inside you, like a pasty
Gross.
alcoholic xenomorph. What the hell?
Rick and Morty travel the universe in the Space Cruiser, powered by a microverse under the hood.
Artificial intelligence, automatic parking, dark matter-based engine, disintegrator gun, flamethrowers, grow ray, laser minigun, microverse-based power cell, robot arms, and windshield wipers.
This compact starship comes equipped with laser cannons, a fishing line that can tow a solar system, and a unique artificial intelligence.
With all that crazy sci-fi gear, Rick and Morty's adventures were absolutely bonkers.
From disentangling a time loop created by alien snakes, to battling the metafictional story lord, to Rick turning himself into a pickle to avoid family therapy.
This guy would rather battle the Russian mafia as a vegetable than address his feelings.
Actually, pickles are
Yeah.
Because boy oh boy, does he have a lot of them.
Behind the fart jokes
Yeah.
and lubba-lubba-dubs, Rick harbors bitter emotional agony.
Way back when, in a completely different universe, the Rick we know had a happy life until another Rick from another universe took it all away, the bastard.
But like me, Rick is a true inventor, and this tragedy spurred him to craft his greatest creation, the
portal gun.
My scans indicate it creates holes through all aspects of space-time, allowing Rick to travel anywhere in the multiverse. It sounds exhausting.
It can do more than that. It can slice you in half, set up traps, and even...
That's coming out of your paycheck.
Nuh-uh.
Decades of
Yeah, huh?
traveling the multiverse, hunting down the...
Okay, that was definitely your fault, man. In his own dimension, Rick's daughter died without children. Rick usurped the position of Morty's grandfather from his dimensional counterpart, Rick Prime. Oh, so that's what happened. So he stole Rick Prime's life because Rick Prime stole his life? That's... wow.
The man who ruined his life darkened Rick's heart. He began to ask himself, if there are an infinite number of universes with an infinite number of each person, how did any individual life matter?
Sounds like he's overthinking it.
Like the time he
Little
accidentally turned all of humanity into horrific Cronenbergs. He and Morty had to escape to a parallel universe where they swapped places with recently deceased versions of themselves. What does that do to a person?
Makes him badass when Rick...
Officially dubbed the Rickest Rick, dodged automatic gunfire as a pickle. Space cruiser once towed a solar system. Dismantled the Galactic Federation, survived a space cruiser orbital crash, flew to the Andromeda Galaxy and back in a single evening, and defeated the Citadel of Ricks, the World Ender, the President, and Rick Prime.
Found
Oh, he
the
got his revenge.
Interdimensional Council of Ricks. He kicked their teeth in. Like they say, he's the Rickest Rick of them all.
That he is. Just touching the hem of his coat can activate his energy shield or even induce instant death. Yes, instant. No, it isn't explained why. Though considering this reaction, it's likely a chemical released through the coat's line.
I love the fucking that scene. That scene is great. Just the way everyone reacts, man. Oh my god. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Arrest them. Son, you have a right to refuse his order, and I guarantee you're gonna die if you touch me, and there's no afterlife. Everything just goes black. Don't do it.
Whoa, Rick!
Okay, what was that?
Death.
What kind?
Instant.
There was no sound. He just died.
Yeah, terrifying. It's a terrifying thing to watch happen. It's called a deterrent.
You couldn't just knock him out?
How is knocking out a deterrent? Everyone wants to be knocked out. Nobody wants to be dead.
Oh, I fucking love that scene, man. I think that's from the end of season 3. Great.
Mr. Rick Wiz, he's dodged an orbital space laser from just a few feet away. He's so smart, he figured out he's in a TV show. Yep, really.
Perhaps most mysterious is Operation Phoenix, a series of clone bodies that his consciousness can be uploaded to upon his death. Despite eventually taking it offline, his mind is still connected to every other Operation Phoenix across the multiverse,
giving him an infinite number of extra lives, even if some of them are shrimps and fascists.
Some of his devices can destroy the Earth, the universe, even...
Rick C-137 should be capable of replicating the feats and inventions of any other Rick within reason. Makes sense if he is the Rickest Rick.
Numerous alternate timelines. He actually did that just to manipulate the stock market.
Though underneath the drunken god complex, there's still a glimmer of the family man Rick
Wait,
used
what
to
did he
be.
do to manipulate stock?
Some of his devices can destroy the Earth, the universe, even numerous alternate timelines. He actually did that just to manipulate the stock market.
Though underneath the drunken god complex, there's still a glimmer of the family man Rick used to be.
Well, as much as he insists that love is just a chemical reaction in the brain, he does care about his daughter and grandkids. And Jerry. Sometimes.
He's taken on an alien Zeus, the President of the United States, and the actual devil, even exiting the bounds of fiction into meta-reality, fighting Jesus H. Leaping Christ himself, and meeting Joseph Campbell. Talk about a hero's journey.
Challenge Rick at your will. He might look like a scrawny, drunken septuagenarian, and he is, but he's also, somehow, the greatest warrior in the universe.
And you can lick his balls.
Lick balls.
Victory is in my sight. Ian Chesterton and Barbara Wright were just your average school teachers, with a less than average student. Susan was odd, almost like an alien.
And when they met her grandfather and his police box, they found out why.
They were aliens, and that
Bum, bum,
police box
bum.
was the TARDIS, a 2-in-1 spaceship and time machine.
Thus, they were
Wait, does the Doctor have a granddaughter? Or was he helping out an alien? That was a cover story.
whisked away into the stars, kicking off over half a century of timey-wimey adventures with a revolving cast of
Oh,
companions.
hold on, right
kicking
there.
off
That
over
was...
half a century of timey-wimey
That's a Doctor I recognize. I recognize him.
adventures with a revolving cast of companions like Sarah Jane Smith, Rose Tyler, the Brigadier, Amy Pond, and so many more.
Complete with the cheesiest special effects you've ever seen.
This madman with a box had a name he would never tell and a history he would always run from. He was only known as the Doctor.
The Doctor.
Doctor who?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Doctor exactly?
Though the Doctor's origins are shrouded in mystery, we know they were born several
Full name is unknown. He's at least 2,000 years old. He is a Time Lord. His shortest height has been 5'6", which was the 7th and the 13th Doctor. His tallest height was 6'3", which was the 3rd and 4th Doctor. Has had 7 spouses, including Cleopatra and Marilyn Monroe. Fucking lucky son of a bitch. Likes jelly babies, bow ties, and companions. Dislikes apples, bureaucrats, and Daleks. Yeah, those guys are dicks.
1,000 years
They're
ago
dicks.
and earned degrees in cosmic science and higher dimensional physics.
But he got bored with the stuffy Time Lord bureaucrats, stole a TARDIS, and explored time and space as a runaway. Who can forget those adventures chasing dinosaurs on a spaceship, dueling Robin Hood with a spoon, or shoving Hitler in a closet?
Yeah, we know it's kind of weird. It's British.
But if you don't know who's who, you're probably wondering, who are all these people? A bunch of old guys, young guys, a lady, and one of the Three Stooges?
Yeah.
What?
The Doctor is a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey. Time Lords may look human, but couldn't be more different. Not only do they have 2 hearts, they literally...
As causality. Fourth wall awareness, genius intellect, hypnosis, precognition, regeneration, respiratory bypass system, time manipulation immunity, and transmigration.
experience time differently. They can see past, present, and future all at once. They can resist temporal phenomena such as time stops and can tamper with fixed points in time. They're effectively acausal beings.
This makes them super hard to predict and nearly impossible to erase from any timeline. They can even breach the bounds of space and talk directly to you. Yes, you at home. Hello there.
Time Lords are practically walking Deus Ex Machinas. In fact, a lot of them would be proud to be called that.
Yeah, the Doc ran away for a reason. Time Lords are a bit dodgy.
The Doctor has hypnotized with a glance, resisted mind control, survived deadly radiation, and even learned transmigration. As in, the ability to summon an object out of thin air. Sounds crazy, but it's apparently standard fare for Time Lord Academy.
But the reason why there are so many doctors is that Time Lords have a funny way of cheating death.
Upon receiving a fatal wound, the Doctor undergoes regeneration, gaining a new, healthy body.
It's way more than that. While reloading, the Doctor has regrown lost limbs, become strong enough to knock down steel doors, and even weaponized his own time energy.
Downside being, if a Time Lord dies during regeneration, that ends the process permanently.
To date, we've seen 14 versions of the Doctor, plus a few extras mixed in here and there. Hell, by the time you're watching this, you've probably seen the 15th. Or the 16th.
The experiences each Doctor
I don't know about
gains
16th,
changes
but I think
and
we've
affects
got
the
some kind of
next
15th.
Doctor, and the next, and so on. Each Doctor maintains the same memories, but with an all-new personality.
Some like bow ties, some like jelly babies, some kick butt with Venusian karate, and some really hate the monarchy, probably 'cause they're werewolves.
But they always have one thing in common.
They are British!
Well, one other thing in common. The Doctor always enjoys the thrill of adventure, and they've got plenty of tech to help, like the sonic screwdriver. Utilizing sonic waves to manipulate nearby objects, it can pick locks, cause detonations, and fry circuitry. It's
Doesn't
sort
work
of
on
a
wood,
Swiss
though.
Army plot device.
Visibility watch, perception filters, psychic paper, sonic screwdriver, sonic sunglasses, temporal lock, D-mat, time bracelet, time ruse, and 2DS.
device that can hack its way through most problems. The perfect pacifist tool for resolving conflict.
Its only weakness is that it doesn't do wood or turkey, though considering it can destroy machines, disrupt molecules, and even erase memories, I'll take it.
The Doctor doesn't often carry weapons. There's an invisibility watch, a time travel ring, psychic paper that tricks basically everyone, and perception filters that prevents others from noticing certain things, even people.
But the Doc does reluctantly have a few weapons stored away, like the dematerialization gun.
It might look slapped together with Hobby Lobby pipes, but the DMAT can literally erase you from time, as in, it causes you to have never existed in the first place.
But if you never existed, then the gun would have never needed to fire, which means you weren't wiped from existence, which means the gun would need to fire, which means...
Oh shit, is that the end of Dummy? Is he just gone now? Is he not gonna appear in any more episodes? We'll have to keep an eye out for future episodes.
That's not the only time erasing tool in the Doctor's box. But we gotta talk about, you know, the box. Shabby blue police box on the outside. Incredible time machine that's bigger on the inside. This
the TARDIS.
is the TARDIS.
The time and relative dimension in space is a sentient ship that travels...
Time and relative dimension in space are architectural reconfiguration system. Artificial intelligence manipulates its own interior space and time. Temporal grace interior, tractor beam, transmat beam, weather manipulator, faulty chameleon circuit, stuck looking like a phone booth. Oh, so that's why it looks like a phone booth.
Space and time with ease. It's strong enough to tow planets, powerful enough to stop antimatter from destroying the universe, and tough enough to tank lightning from Zeus. Yes, the god Zeus. It can even adjust its interior to an infinite degree, both in terms of space and time.
So, if the TARDIS doesn't like...
The Doctor can access additional weapons in the TARDIS, the Omega Arsenal, and beyond, such as the Tear of Aisha, the Heart of the TARDIS, Paradox Machines, and even the Moment, which remains in contact with the Doctor.
You might get lost inside it forever. Don't piss off the TARDIS.
Or any of the Doctor's enemies. Some of the universe's deadliest monsters. Cybermen, Zygons, Weeping Angels.
And the Slitheen, the big chunky aliens that took over 10 Downing Street. And couldn't stop farting.
Even when the Doctor prefers not to
really ended the last Great Time War single-handedly, intercepted several lasers in nanoseconds, contained the Celestial Toymaker's universe inside the TARDIS, punched through 20 feet of asbantium over 2 billion years. I don't know what that means, but it sounds impressive. TARDIS pulled Earth halfway across the universe and has defeated the Cybermen, Daleks, Omega, and the Master.
Fisticuffs, he's tough enough to survive bolts of lightning that vaporize an ordinary human. He's even dodged half a dozen disintegration rays, while also improvising several thousand calculations in a matter of nanoseconds.
Yeah, the Doctor's super smart. So smart, his brain once powered a 1,000-year-old supercomputer.
The Doctor's outwitted cosmic entities like the Great Intelligence, the Time Lord Nemesis, the Master, and apparently the original Satan, who isn't even the most frightening alien in the multiverse, because that would be the Daleks.
Alright, bear with me here. They may look like trash cans with plungers, but they can exterminate anything that gets in their way. Even all of space and time, like when they battled the Time Lords to extinction in the last Great Time War.
A war that showed a darker side to the Doctor. Thrust into a conflict that put all of reality at risk, the Doctor became a warrior, a soldier, a killer.
A side of him that had always been there, hiding just under that cheeky grin.
Finally, in a single moment, the Doctor pressed a big red button to end the war and all of Gallifrey once and for all.
As much as he didn't like the Time Lords, the Doctor cares for life above all things. So genociding his own people was the worst thing that could possibly happen.
As the last of the Time Lords, the Doctor proved to be the most dangerous person in the universe. Isolation threatened to turn him into the very type of Time Lord he despised, a master who controls the laws of time, the Time Lord Victorious.
And God help your immortal soul if you piss him off. If he's desperate or if you threaten his friends, you won't be prepared for how far he'll go. Like trapping you in every mirror in existence, imprisoning you in the event horizon of a collapsing galaxy, or suspending you in time to be used as a scarecrow.
Fortunately, Gallifrey wasn't destroyed. It turns out the Doctor, all of the Doctors, saved the Time Lords, but just forgot about it until time could catch up to them. It's complicated.
Still, even their biggest L turned out to be a dub in disguise. That's how you know you're fantastic.
But a Doctor's job is never finished. Without witness, without reward, you'll never know when they'll show up to save the day. But if you happen to be up against the Doctor, there's really only one thing you can do. Run. This video is sponsored by BetterHelp.
That was a cold ass line.
Gotta do is anytime BetterHelp's better.
I feel like Rick's gonna lose this.
The combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Oh, jeez, Rick. It was my fault.
Shut the fuck up, Morty! I knew Time Lords were suicidal morons, but I didn't know they
You're one to talk.
Are you sick? You're the one who hit me. Oh, go on, I'm busy.
Son of a bitch, he's ignoring me?
Really, Rick? You're doing this over at ego? I don't know what I expected.
Holy, it was ship! Keep Morty safe.
What are you... Uh-oh! No! Oh, what did they do to you?
What the? Of course they ended up on this planet. Why'd he smile?
Right, fine. Queensbury rules? A bit of Venusian karate?
Keep quipping, asshole. Maybe you'll find a good joke on
Bill
the ground
Cyber.
next to your teeth.
On guard! Oh, this place looks fun. Do they have a little shop? I like little shops.
Yeah, your tech is gonna be just a spectacle for that. Here again? Oh.
Well, blink as much as you can. They're scared of rapid movement.
Motherfucker.
What?
Oh.
Oh, you brilliant old girl. Switching rooms around. Fantastic.
Might not have a choice here, man.
It's fun to be the class clown till you get shot. Now hurry up. I got a grandson waiting on me. He won't die an idiot like you.
I know your type.
That Rick impression's kind of...
To know it all. But through all this wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey rubbish, there's one thing you never quite understood. I'm the Doctor, and I don't want to go.
Yeah, he decides when he dies, not you. His time's not over yet. Sorry, Rick, but I think you're losing this one. Oh.
Our son got his G2. We aged 5 years, and our insurance bill aged 10.
That's pretty common when a new driver...
Quite an impressive craft, Morty. You built it yourself?
I guess so.
Then you've got a bright future
That
ahead.
Morty impression's kind of poo, too. Bad Rick and Morty impressions.
Morty, if you forget me, I'll haunt your ass.
Who the fuck are you?
So, live by the portal, die
Die
by
by
the
the
portal.
portal.
Let's break this down. First off, Rick and the Doctor could both dodge lasers, making them pretty even, so neither could reliably win a quick draw.
Also, neither have shown any consistent signs of strength all that different from an above-average human.
The
Fair
Doctor
enough.
could get a superhuman strength boost during regeneration, but that is fairly incidental. So as far as physical ability is concerned, neither had a significant edge.
But when it comes to weapons, Rick had way more deadly killing machines, a lot of which could wipe out whole planets, galaxies, and more. If he could
Yeah.
get the jump on the Doctor, he'd have a good chance of winning.
Of course, their similar speeds meant he probably wasn't getting that opportunity. There's no denying his firepower was superior overall, but that still had to contend with the Doctor's technology.
Yeah, despite all of Rick's crazy inventions, most of which could kill a normal person instantly, the Doctor matched or countered pretty much all of it.
Being a Time Lord meant he could resist any time-warping trickery Rick threw at him, and the sonic screwdriver could hack and even destroy nearly everything Rick had.
Rick's cyborg implants have been disabled or forcibly torn out of him with lesser technology than the sonic screwdriver.
The Sonic has even disabled teleportation and time travel technology before, making it more than capable of hijacking Rick's portal gun, which has been hacked in the past.
With that gun, Rick was kind of a sitting duck.
Operation Phoenix makes killing Rick permanently almost impossible, but the Doctor's reality-altering tech like the DMAC...
Rick is capable of creating the existent erasing Omega device. However, the Doctor has resisted such phenomena and can reliably counter with their own similar devices.
That meant there would be no Rick left to upload to a new body at all, effectively ending the fight in a single shot. And that was hardly the only reality-warping superweapon the Doctor had access to. The Doctor's technology presented a clear advantage.
Now let's talk ships. This one's pretty clear-cut. The space cruiser was a deadly machine that towed a solar system, but the TARDIS single-handedly held off a universe-destroying event. That's an edge for the Doctor.
But perhaps most important of all was their experience and intelligence.
Rick mastered space and time to the point of becoming a veritable god.
Rick has mentioned Doctor Who before, implying that he knows of the Doctor Who franchise. However, there is no evidence that he actually watched the show or knows any specifics about the Doctor.
But you can say the same for the Doctor, who is way older. It's kind of like the Doctor has been Rickin' for many times longer than Rick himself.
And when push comes to shove, the Doctor is just as experienced of a warrior as Rick ever was, if not more so.
11 spent 900 years battling Daleks, Cybermen.
Central finite curve used by the Council of Ricks isolates Rick from universes where he isn't the smartest, effectively making him a big fish in a small pond.
Suntarans, and more on Trenzalore came out on top.
And don't forget how quickly the Doctor can formulate, calculate, and initiate plans. Like when he dodged half a dozen rays and...
Rick had more destructive weaponry and potential immortality through his Operation Phoenix, but his fatal flaw was his arrogance. The Doctor was much more experienced, and his sonic screwdriver could hack Rick's techs and weapons. There was also no way to permanently end the TARDIS, and he had tech that could counter Operation Phoenix should it become a problem. His fatal flaw, however, is his recklessness.
Provides thousands of calculations in his head to siphon the ray's energy into a teleporter, all in a matter of nanoseconds.
Rick usually relies on being the smartest guy in the room. When he's forced to battle people at his own level, he's often outsmarted, like with the Prime Rick or, gasp, a Morty.
Rick was a formidable genius, but the Doctor's incredible technology, unmatched intelligence, and thousands of years of experience gave him the win.
Ah, geez. I bet Rick was absolutely mortified to lose.
The winner is the Doctor. Hi.
Alrighty. That's gonna be it for this episode of React TCG, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell, all that fun stuff. Go and check out Death Battle and watch their videos, give them the love they deserve. And don't forget to check in on Wednesday if you prefer to watch the single videos rather than the full long video that's going to be getting posted. So, that being said, have a great day, or, you know, week, or whatever the fuck, and peace out, guys.